Time for the late night boxing talks. We out here. So, I was on Twitter earlier, and I saw that, what's-his-face, the KO guy, he's still licking his wounds 3 days later. Ridiculous. And I kind of had just remembered, country, what it do? I just remembered that the guy was basically begging for a debate, and then when I finally shoot him the link, he didn't know what to say. These guys are something, man. I'll tell you. What it do, more the machine. Michael Giles in the building. Oh, Dirty in the building. We basically have like a whole bunch of pay-per-views coming up. Looks to be starting in March. Because I think Benavidez versus Plant is in March. April is supposed to be Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis. May is supposed to be Errol Spence Jr., Canelo Alvarez, and Devin Haney versus Vasyl-Lomachenko. And who knows where they're going to put Wilder versus Ruiz, but that's another pay-per-view. And I was just thinking, and I mentioned this in a video that I did, that by way of just one outfit, just one outfit, you basically have 4 pay-per-views coming up for a grand total of approximately $300 in box office fights. And that kind of goes back, Rafa, que lo que, manín? Luisito, ya tu sabes, manín. Edwin Castillo, ya tu sabes, manín. Gary in the building, ay. Ernie in the building, ay. Ray in the building. You know what I mean? You basically have $300 worth of fights that if you want to see them, you'll have to shell out $300, not counting what the other outfits are going to put on, like Top Rank or what Matchroom might put on pay-per-view. And the amazing thing is that the other 2 outfits, they don't put on as many pay-per-views, which is good because box office fights really should be reserved for hotly contested fights or hotly contested fighters that are in high demand. And when you see a fight like Benavidez versus Plant end up as a pay-per-view, and it's not even a title fight, there's an interim title, but everybody knows who the man is at super middleweight, in spite of the efforts of a few that don't represent the greater cumulative. Everybody knows that Canelo is the man at super middleweight. He has all the titles. David and Caleb are fighting for a baby belt, an interim title. Like, y'all not champions, but it is what it is. And neither of you have the following of a Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis, so you can't even use that as a crutch to argue why that fight is being billed as a box office fight. It doesn't make sense. And it's like, it's a good little fight, but it really is a fight that belongs on a regular Showtime. It just doesn't belong as a pay-per-view. $80 to see those 2 guys 3-4 years too late. It just doesn't make sense. And I maintain my position that I think that should be billed as a co-main event to Wilder versus Ruiz. I think that the smartest thing they could do is condense those 2 fights into a solid co-main and a solid main. Because a lot of those undercards, they're just really forgettable. Like, a lot of those undercards they do are very forgettable. And, yeah, man. Shout out to my man, Jay. Yo, I'm telling you, it's wild, Jay. Like, if you really think about that, that's crazy. Because if you tack on whatever we're going to have to pay for the Lomachenko, let's say that you wanted to buy all of that, bro, that's $375. Like shit. Shout out to my man, Athletic Mind. I respect the debate of you and KO boxing. Had I feel that you won the debate, I don't think that's a question. Respect to both of you, brothers. I appreciate you, Athletic. But like I said, when it comes to that, because he's been carrying on all day Sunday and all day yesterday, and he was making an argument to where, more people are saying you won because it's a popularity contest or whatever, because this is what he was saying on Twitter, something along those lines. And a few others, they're saying that, of course you're going to get more votes, yada, 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 and you should go to a more neutral platform. And then they recommended I go to his platform, and I'm like, well, how is that more neutral? It seems to me that, what you want is to be in an echo chamber. You want me to go to your echo chamber. And I can only say now what I said before. If I'm required to step away from my platform where I know with an absolute certitude that I'm going to generate revenue, you have to compensate me for the revenue that I would be making. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time. Unless you're Lady Chan, unless you my man D Styles, unless you my man Cali, my man J Habib, unless you with the round table, unless you my man the Maestro, unless you my man Boxing Beats and Rhymes, right? I'm not stepping away from my platform. You know, I like their content. I respect their content. Those are very good content creators, some of the most knowledgeable in the entire YTBC as far as I'm concerned. And shout out to my man Jamie Bourne. Great fight predictions, great content as well. Shout out to my man Punch Perfect. Unless you wanted them, nah, son, because you want my time. And if you want my time and I don't even know you like that, you got to pay me. Simple as. Now, if you're willing to put the money up, put it up. Yeah, like it's easy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what some people think a debate is. I really don't know. But a debate, there has to be a point of contention and there has to be a basis in reality. You don't just, shoot off at the mouth and say whatever based on your own beliefs, because your beliefs versus someone else's, I don't know what that is, though. I think it's a waste of time, to be completely honest, which is why I only do these things when there's money involved. Other than that, I couldn't care less what somebody else believes. You could believe the sky is made of cheese. I don't care. Only way I'm going to argue about it is if I make money. I challenge him to tell me what Ring IQ said was a lie, and he ran away. Yeah, it's childish, bro. It's just little kid stuff. Like, it's just little kid stuff. You say that, one of the points that he made, which was ridiculous, you say that Crawford kept Al Heyman in the dark. According to Terrence Crawford, he actually told Al Heyman that he was going to be fighting David Avanesian. He told, well, not David specifically, but he told him he'd be taking a tune-up fight. And unless you know more about his negotiations than he does, you don't have a leg to stand on, All that hooping and hollering and, yeah, man, I'm not fucking 3 years old, bro. Like, you sound like you're having a temper tantrum. And I mean, shout out to Lady Chan. But yeah, yo, I'll say it again. Unless you're Lady Chan, Jamie Bourne, D Styles, Cali, Maestro, J Habib, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Base the Kid, there's content creators I fuck with that I don't have no problem going on their shit and shooting the shit. But if I don't know you like that, and you want me to step off my platform so that you could try to get some shine, because we all know that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get some shine. You know what I mean? You're trying to get some, like, I don't know, like, I don't even like saying this, but it's like you're trying to get some name value or something from I guess, a bigger platform than your own. If you want me to do that, you got to pay me, bro. You got to pay me, because my time is money. He only wanted to talk but wouldn't let you ask the questions. That's when he lost. Well, I mean, I felt he lost when he dropped off, Don't wake up in the morning, which is what the guy did. Don't wake up in the morning using my name for anything, because I certainly wouldn't do that to you. Don't wake up in the morning asking, oh, he would never. Bro, I don't wake up in the morning worrying about none of y'all. You know what I mean? You wake up, you say you want a discussion or whatever, and then I give it to you, but you're busy. Then what the fuck are you doing? If you're busy, then what the fuck are you using my name for? It's pure childishness. It's silliness. It's like, bro, like, the fuck? If you're preoccupied, why don't you save it for when you're not preoccupied, when you don't have to drop off 2 times or you're in the car or whatever's going on? If you're preoccupied, because you're using my name. I don't wake up in the morning and use your name. I don't have to. Shout out to my man LDBC's Most Wanted. De lo mío, que lo que. I have to agree. Virgil beats Stanionis, gets elevated to WBA champion, and a huge fight, unification fight with him and Crawford in Texas is beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. And I feel that what the rest of the welterweights need to show, which is Conor Benn, which is Virgil, which is Crawford, and any other guys that may be coming through, what they have to show is that big, fights, good fights can still happen because the welterweight division has been a dud. And it's evident in the numbers. It's evident in the box office numbers for fights. It's evident in the viewership. Keith Thurman came back. Nobody cared. You know, Spence fought Ugas. That shit didn't do nothing. That shit didn't crack 300,000 bars. What it do, hot boxing? My man Hot Boxing Minute out here with the six-pack abs. I seen you. Don't fight that dude, bro. He look like a nice person, but he'll fuck you up. Don't fight that dude. Hot Boxing is out here, yo. I'm telling y'all, don't test that man. Don't test that man. I'm warning them, Hot Boxing. I'm trying to save them. It be the nice people that'll twist your shit up. It be the nice people that they just out here, they trying to chill. They just want to chill. And if you can't let them chill, yeah, I already know. Yeah, he's saying he won, Jules. And, well, they can say what they like in their little echo chamber. No one that has ever come on here and had a debate with me, no one has ever admitted that they lost, no matter how many people tell them. That's why I said this yesterday. I'm playing a different game. I don't really care if you think you won, if your subscribers think you won. I wouldn't talk to you unless I'm going to make money. I made my money. If the majority of people think I won, if you want to ignore them, I made my money. That was what? Close to 300 in one day, talking to two idiots? Literally just sitting on my ass. Is it that guy from Saturday? Yeah, bro, ese tipo está pasado, man. Jules got them big city speaking skills. I watched the man. Yo, it ain't even, but it's not even big city stuff. It's just that I'm old. So all that hooping and hollering and screaming, nah, son. I'm 40 out here, bro. Like, I don't want to be doing all that. Especially to have a conversation about two boxers that don't even know who I am. Is they gonna give me money for all the energy? Nah, right? I ain't then. So, you know what I mean? Mirage the Undeterrable. Shout out to Mirage wherever you are. I want to have him back on. That guy's a lot of fun. He is so obtuse, but I made so much money off of him being obtuse. I enjoyed Mirage too, Avo. I enjoyed Mirage. Dude talk BS for like 20 minutes straight. Ese tipo estaba hablando pura mierda, man. Opinionen. Si tú tienes una opinión, that's not a fact. Es una opinión. Todito tenemos opiniones. You gotta come with facts, bro. You gotta come with the facts. Polo, what it do? Now that was the dude from Australia, bro. He from Australia, not UK. He was an Australian dude. I've been talking to so many people from different continents that I could tell the difference in the accents. To an American set of ears, they may not pick it up, but because I'm CIA trained, I know how Kiwis sound. I know how Aussies sound. I know how UK folks sound and the different places that they from, the people from South London, the people from Liverpool, the people from Manchester, all my homies in Scotland, my people in Northern Ireland, and my other people on the other part of the island that you really can't understand what they say. The internet is a beautiful thing. It allows you to learn about different cultures. You know, the internet is what you make it. It could be a tool to be productive and make money just as easily as it could be a platform for social rejects to behave in ways that they otherwise wouldn't in a real life setting. Like that guy who really likes Errol Spence. I forgot his name, but he looks like Pee Wee Herman. I literally forgot his name. But he looks like Pee Wee Herman. Like, he looks like he shouldn't be allowed within 50 feet of a school. And he was... I ain't tell no lies. Danny Garcia got an offer to fight Terrence Crawford, and he rejected it. Because of that, you going to start with the personal insults? Bro, you don't be talking like that when you be walking around. Come on now. You don't be acting like that. I heard about him. I forgot who messaged me, but they told me that Moni Brown. I'm familiar with that content creator. At least I've heard of him. I don't really know what his views are, but somebody said that he was watching the debate or he played it back and he was commenting on it. You know, it's like if you can prove to me that Terrence Crawford didn't inform Al Heyman that he would be taking a tune-up, by all means, knock yourself out. Prove it. You don't need me to be there to prove it. Go ahead, prove it. What these content creators are trying to do is convince an audience of something with no facts, with no verifiable facts, no proof, because you should know you can't prove that. You're just running around telling people what you believe. I don't care what you believe. You can think the moon is made of cheese. I don't care what you believe. Shout out to my man Virtuoso. I was on my Anthony Santos shit till you went live. Ow! Shout out to my man Maurice Chapman. If the WBO doesn't sanction the AB fight, doesn't that mean she won't have super champion status if she wins and moves up, therefore not being mandatory? That's a very good question, and I honestly believe that that's the consequence. But I also believe the saving grace is that she can still move up and become a mandatory by way of the other belts, by way of the WBA, the WBC, and potentially the IBF. I believe that even if the WBO tries that, which it does look like they're doing that, it does look like they're trying to hardliner or whatever, I think she can still move up and become a mandatory by way of the other alphabets. And remember, if nothing else, Alicia Baumgartner is on the same side of the street as Katie Taylor. So is it really even necessary for her to become a mandatory to land a fight like that? We all know, no, it's not. She in with the right people. She's on the right side of the street. So it's still viable with or without the WBO's blessing. You know what I mean? City folks in Australia copped it bad, but I'm remote on an island, so I was out fishing. I was out drinking. Been trying to tell these guys, listen. That knockdown dude didn't have a single point in that entire 20-minute debate. His entire argument was, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Shout out to my man Hyam in the building. Hyam in the building. You know what I mean? And, you know, like I said, I honestly believe that I'm playing a different game to everyone else. I know for a fact that everyone that I've ever proven wrong, whether it was on here or Facebook, for those of you that remember when I used to go debate guys head to head on Facebook, I know for a fact that not a single one of them would ever admit that they lost or would ever even admit that they were wrong about anything. And that's why I say I'm playing a different game, because I know you're not going to admit you're wrong. I know you're not going to admit you lost. The only reason I'm even talking to you is because I'm making money while doing it. Other than that, I wouldn't waste my time. It's a cult mentality. They reverse engineer the arguments to basically, they reverse engineer the arguments because they've already made up their minds. There is no evidence that you could show them that would sway them. So they reverse engineer arguments to suit what they already believe, irrespective of what information is being put out there. And if they'll go as far as lying, outright lying, ad-libbing, embellishing, exaggerating, and outright manufacturing information that they don't have and can't verify. That's how I know. You know what I mean? I'm just out here with the red plaid shirt, with the red plaid shirt. Red plaid shirt got the red plaid shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah, yo. You know, I get messages all the time. Shout out to everybody in the DMs. Ralph, que lo que, what it do? Dre to Southwest Philly, not me. I'll admit that I lost when I said Canelo wasn't elite. I dig it, bro. Now I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel and we gonna get down. You know what I mean? And please, everybody, rules of engagement. Let each other talk. Don't cut each other off mid-sentence. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's very annoying. You know what I mean? Out here with the red plaid shirt, Yeah, yo. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? With the red plaid shirt. A debate should be about seeing both sides of an argument and finding a common ground. Unfortunately, in this new generation, they think it's a game of who is right instead of finding that common ground. The funny thing is you can't hold a debate unless there is a common ground already. You can't hold, like, some people debate opinions and things like that, and I don't really waste time on that. Some people debate opinions. I debate the preponderance of evidence. It has to be based in fact. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. I don't need to know what you believe. Like I said, you can believe the moon is made of cheese for all I care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, debates are based on facts and knowledge, not about what a person believes, fantasizes about, or Well,
again, because here's an example. Here's an example.
Your emotions about it.
Some people might think that Cardi B's sister looks better than Cardi B, but that boils down to choice, preference. Hello. That boils
Cardi
down
B
to
ain't nice.
You see what I mean? Some people might look at Cardi and say, "Ay." Some people might look at his sister and say, "Ay."
You wild.
Some people might look at Beyonce. Ay. Some people might look at Rihanna.
Joe. You know, Beyonce got paid. Listen. Beyonce got paid $25 million or pounds, I don't know, just to perform in Dubai because the new Atlantis Royale is opening up.
I heard about that, bro.
$25 million, bro. It's crazy.
I'm saying that they got long money out there. They got long money out there, bro. Now, I heard a soundbite from Blair Cobbs, of all people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
And let me just set the stage. He's basically saying that Anthony Joshua is a coward for not fighting Deontay Wilder. And I just love how it's either you don't know and you're speaking from ignorance or you're just biased. Because Deontay Wilder, in plain English, not only did you admit that Eddie Hearn contacted your guy Shelly Finkel, but you told him we're busy.
Yep.
You told him that. And that's not some shit that Eddie Hearn paraphrased. That's not some shit that Eddie Hearn said. Wilder said that. We're busy. My thing is, we're busy. Shelly said, yeah, I got the emails, but I ignored them. So that the Americans in America can call Joshua the coward. That's crazy to me.
Jules, you remember what he said before that as well? I was offered more money than we all know. Hello.
It's like all the documentation, and this kind of speaks to what I just said about these guys that jump on here and want to debate. You can literally line up that paper trail, show it to them in sequence, and it won't change their mind because
no.
You don't have the capacity psychologically to look at something and say, yo, I was wrong.
Well, that's like, I mean, keep it real. That's the emotional side of it. You ever show all the facts to a woman and she still go, but I still just feel like, look.
I had an argument. Listen, I had an argument with my wife, right? A couple of years ago. She swore up and down that I had seen this movie, right? Movie.
Jules, she might hear you.
I don't give a shit. She just swore up and down. And it took her a minute to realize I never saw that fucking movie, dog. I don't know.
What movie was it? Fucking
Frailty.
Oh.
I fucking told you I never seen that shit.
I thought it was
That's a very good movie.
I mean, well, you know what? I'm going to give Blair a pass on this, fellas, because I think Alexis Roach might have just hit him harder than we thought. So,
hey, Jules, you seem like you're mad that you saw that movie, though.
No, I love it. No. When we finally did sit down and watch it, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Because that, for those that haven't seen that,
it's a bad good movie, yo.
That shit, I really, I didn't know, and I don't want to fuck it up for nobody. But you really don't know what the fuck going on till the end. You really don't know.
So it's like Inception? It's like Inception?
I ain't going to say shit, my guy.
Okay. Well, was it like Stepmommy and Stepdaughter?
Matthew McConaughey's in the
movie. Stuck in a washing machine.
It's real good, yo.
For anybody on this panel that ain't seen that shit, I'm just telling you, trust me.
I'm going to check it out.
I'm going to check it out then.
You're not going to know what the fuck is going on until the very end. They're like, oh shit. And I don't want to give nothing away, but that's one of the best movies I ever seen. One of the best movies I ever seen.
And by the way, just say this? In regards to Blair Cobb, nobody listens to him.
I know.
I don't understand. Like, what kind of, bro? I'm sorry, not all Americans are like this, but why the fuck are these PBC fans so fucking deluded? I don't understand. What is about PBC to like so much? What fights have they given you?
They're in their own little world, and sometimes we're best off if we just leave them there because they don't want to change.
Well, I'll say. Let me raise this point. See, the thing is, a lot of the younger fans, they don't come from the generation of boxing that we used to watch. So they don't have nothing to measure what's going on today against to see that now that like, yo, yeah, this shit is dumb. Like, for example, I bring this up. I like Jermell Charlo. I picked him to knock out Castaño, right? But what I'm saying is, if you got an undisputed title fight that brought in the most ratings for Showtime last year, and it did, it was like 800,000. What the fuck y'all look like shelving that man the rest of the year? Get his ass back out there because he's buzzing right now. What do? They let him sit out the whole year.
It's not even the young generation, Jules. Come on, there's like 40, 50-year-olds that literally up fucking Errol's asshole, bro. These aerosexuals.
For a lot of them, it's not about boxing. It's other things that motivate.
Yeah, like for example, nationalism. Like, here's the thing, right? Let's say Blair Cobbs was from Harlem, like me. Do you think I give a fuck? You still suck, bro.
Right. One thing I can say is one thing I can say. In most other cultures, like when we look at the UK, we look at Mexico, hell, we look at where's Manny from in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. These cultures and these different ethnicities and entire freaking countries get behind their fighter.
Yeah,
listen, one at a time, because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I say this all the time, and it's like it goes on deaf ears. There is a place for tribalism and nationalism in boxing because that's what sells tickets. That's what sells tickets, right? When you supporting the hometown fighter. So I'm not even telling nobody that you can't root for somebody because they from your block. I'm just saying that if I'm having a conversation about what's going to happen in a fight, for me, where the guy's from don't have shit to do with nothing. You see what I mean? I'm not Japanese. But I knew he was going to beat that Puerto Rican's ass. And I knew he was going to beat the UK dude's ass. I knew that. And it's
that was just from a skills perspective, not even about it being where you from. It was just the eye test. You know what I mean? When you just want to discuss good boxing, good fighting.
And that's my thing. That, like, if you say, well, I support the fighter from Brooklyn because I'm from Brooklyn. All right, bang, you support the from Tech, and I'm like, awesome for you, bro. But when I have this conversation, this one, the shit you talking about don't have shit to do with what I'm talking about.
Facts.
It really don't. You know what I mean? And all New York fighters. Edgar Berlanga from New York, and I was one of the first people that said, nah.
No. I can't wait till he fights so cold, man. I can't wait
He's
till
not gonna
Berlanga
fight
fight
him, bro.
so cold.
He's not gonna fight him, bro. He not.
So
I'm telling you right now, he's not gonna fight him, bro.
And once he bit his opponent, he proved it. You're nah.
He not gonna fight like on some real shit, B. He not gonna fight nobody, yo. Like he didn't want to fight Mabili. He didn't want to fight Rosado. He didn't want to fight Jesse Hart. He not gonna fight Steven, bro. He not
gonna fight Steve Nelson, bro. So Cold gonna expose that man.
If anything, Top Rank need to re-sign Steven Nelson because I wouldn't mind Mabili and oh my God, did y'all see the fight they made for him?
Gongora.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yo, look, I'm gonna say this. Gongora is a better fighter than what we saw in the Lerone Richards fight. That's just a bad style matchup. He a pure boxer.
Exactly.
He gonna stick and move and he gonna dance. But Gongora could punch. He'll fuck you up. And Mabili could punch it.
Somebody's getting knocked out.
I really do think somebody gonna get knocked out in that fight. It's hard to know who because Gongora is a little bit more experienced than Mabili, but Mabili hit like a fucking truck. So
he can crack.
I don't know who gonna lose that fight, but I'm surely gonna watch it. And with Edgar, I really don't know what you could do with a guy like that because he don't have a ceiling. Like, bro, he not gonna get better, bro. Like, he not Miguel Cotto. He not gonna be that. Like, y'all want him to be like Cotto or Trinidad. He not gonna be none of that shit, bro.
He's you know what he's gonna be like, Jules.
All based on the hype train really rode the first round knockout streak.
For real.
I never even bought into that. I never bought into that at all. Those first round knockouts.
You know what the shit was? It's like if you got a kid, you know, it's a trade-off. Before I pass it to Avo, it's a trade-off. It's like, okay, so you go in there and you normally knock the guys out real fast. And I'm not going to hold that against you because, well, you don't get paid by the hour, right? I dig it. But I'm also mindful that this kid's not developing. You keep knocking these guys out, you really not getting no rounds to work on nothing.
Right.
So,
yeah, no experience.
You're not gaining any experience.
Exactly. So one day you're going to end up in there with somebody that they could take your best shot and you can't do shit with him. And that happened. He tried to hit Cosaris with everything. He tried to hit Steve Rose with everything.
He hit Rose with everything he had and could not finish him.
I remember Tim Bradley. I forget after which fight it was, but I think he went the distance and he didn't look good. Then he said those first round KOs were the worst thing that ever happened to him. They really were.
But we don't even know that he was ever really good, bro.
We don't.
Again, Berlanga, I have this feeling he's going to be like a Eubank Jr. in the sense like his career is going to go nowhere. He's just going to be there. He wants a payday, but no one really gives a shit about him. And he's going to be put in a position where he's supposed to win, but he's not going to. No. Case in point, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam, which was such a fun fight. I'm so happy that happened.
You know what you could do with Berlanga? You kind of got to trick him. If you use Berlanga, like you match him so soft, right, that he start knocking people out again, and he'll be none the wiser that I'm going to feed you to Pacheco, right? You know that's what I'm
shit.
Because they got that kid at 168, Pacheco. And I'm like,
he's on Golden Boy, right?
No, he would match room.
Oh man, snaps. Okay.
Yeah, he would match room. So I'm like, look,
Berlanga might
buy him, dude. What about a Morel fight?
Well, he would never.
No.
That's why. Listen, Cam. That's why I said you got to fool him. You think he don't know who David Morrell is? You think he don't know who them other? You know exactly who them people are.
That dude just put his last opponent in a coma. Shit.
I would guess that he don't know that Pacheco kid because that kid is real young and he just coming through. So I'm like, yo, you know what you do? Keep feeding him, because he wants a certain amount of money every time he gets out there. And if you could get it to where he start knocking people out again, he could start selling tickets again. So keep him fat and happy and then feed his ass to Pacheco. And then Pacheco will cross.
Feed him some cans. Let him kick some cans down the road.
What about him and Munguia?
The high jumps.
And I'm trying to tell you, this dude did not want to fight motherfucking Rosado,
so he damn sure ain't gonna fight Munguia.
Not gonna fight Munguia, bro. Like he don't want to. Like you can see that he know who to stay away from. Like I
get what you're saying. You gotta hit him with the 52 fake out, basically.
He look at some of them fools like grenade.
Munguia doesn't fight anyone.
Munguia will kill him.
Say it again.
I said Munguia will kill him.
Oh yeah, Munguia. That's the other thing, and you know that I don't have a high opinion of Jaime Munguia, but he would. It's our man Mirage. Shout out to our man Mirage.
It'd be a battle of the cans.
Now, Mirage, I want to ask you something, Mirage. Are you happy that the Tim Tszyu Tony-Harrison fight landed in Australia?
I'm pissed off that the Charlo fight was called off. That's what I'm fucking pissed off about. After waiting, they booked us 6 months in advance, and now that we're fighting this fight. But sure, whatever.
Second question.
He's keeping active. He's fighting.
Second
but I'm
question.
not into.
Second question. Yeah. Do you actually believe that Jermell is injured, and do you believe? What does your Australian instincts tell you? Is that fight going to get rescheduled, or have we seen the last of Jermell Charlo at junior middleweight?
Okay, when it comes to boxing, obviously these days, that's a super hard question to answer. I think you would admit you never know what's going on. I suspect. I mean, surely it's genuine. Surely he's not scared to fight fucking Tim Tszyu. So I think something must have happened. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't actually think he's scared either. I don't think he's scared, but I think it's above his pay grade, the decision that's being made. That's where I'm at, because I don't think he's scared of Tim Tszyu either, and I really like Tim, but I think Jermell was going to knock him out. So what I think is happening that is above Jermell's pay grade is they're moving their guys up the divisions. You know, they're going to move Spence to 54, Mel to 60. Maul to 68, and that's what's going on. I don't actually think that fight is going to get rescheduled.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I would not be surprised. My hopes for that very, very low.
Who did you think was going to win that fight and how?
I mean, Charlo has to be the favorite. I mean, to be honest with you, even though I'm Australian, like I'm not biased at all, Tim Tszyu didn't deserve that fight. Tim Tszyu's been fighting fucking domestic fighters 95% of his career. Then he beat up Jeff Horn, who's fucking done. Then he's had one fight. He's had one fight on the international scale, his last fight in America, and all of a sudden he's earned the right.
I'll disagree with you on that. He fought the Japanese guy who everybody saw. Well, I don't know if you saw that fight.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That guy gave Munguia a lot of problems when he was WBO champion. He gave him a lot of problems. He took Munguia's best shots. He backed him up into the ropes. He hit him with everything he had. It was a really good fight. And that was before the Terrell Gausha fight. So I would say, no, Tim did all right, because that was, it wasn't the Jeff Horn fight for me. It was actually that fight that I'm like, yeah, this kid's, he has it, because that's a tough Japanese guy that he fought. That dude ain't.
Is there still enough of a body of work to fight undisputed?
Well, I mean, look at Murtazaliev, bro. He was mandatory before Tim since 2019.
Yeah.
Tim certainly earned it more than him. I don't even know who the fuck that. I keep forgetting who that Russian guy fought to be a mandatory. I can't remember.
I was gonna say Tim has been active. Tim,
he was active until he hasn't fought for fucking ages now.
Yeah. So are you gonna go to that fight? And who do you like for that fight?
No, I don't really go to fights, man. Like in Australia, fuck.
Why not?
The boxing scene, we have the occasional big fights, but I don't really go to live fights. I have Tim Tszyu. I mean, Tim Tszyu's tough, but his opponent, I haven't seen much of him, but he's a tricky opponent. So he's going to have to catch him and grind him down, Tim. But I'm picking Tim. But it's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy.
Well, that's the thing about Tony. Tony's a pure boxer. Outside guy, outside jabber, but he can punch. He has a lot of knockouts, and that's what's deceptive about Tony. That Tony is not feather-fisted. He can punch.
No.
We want to see how.
And Tim's hittable. Tim's hittable. Tim's like a robot. Like he just comes forward. So, yeah.
Tony has laps though. If you notice him in his fights, he'll have laps toward the end of the fight where he's not completely in it mentally. It feels like.
And Tony gets tired.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Tony gas is a wrap.
He's in trouble.
That's the main thing, that Tony could start off real good, because he started off real good in the Charlo fight. He started off real good, but the pace that Tim sets, if he don't catch Tim with some shit, the pace that Tim sets, Tony gonna gas out, and Tony gonna get hit, and Tony gonna go out. Because if Willie Nelson could catch you, and Jarrett Hurd could catch you,
and Jermell in a rematch.
Yeah, but there's no shame in losing to Jermell. You see,
no, of course.
None of them really, but it's just know that Jarrett Hurd is not this special fighter that he feint and disguise the punch. He just comes after you. That's all he do.
Jared Hurd stopped Tony, right?
Yeah, he did stop Tony.
He did stop him. I was about to say, I give Tim Tszyu stops Harrison inside of 8 rounds. And that's because Harrison gasses.
But it's a good fight because Tony is a good, but like he actually has a really good jab. He is a really good boxer, and he does punch hard. Like I think he punches harder than Terrell Gausha, and you seen what Terrell Gausha did.
Nobody on the panel giving Tony any credit. Nobody on the panel giving Tony any credit.
He's got a box of perfect fight.
Don't get
I can't down Tony. Tony's a good boxer, but bro, when Tony gasses,
I know it's bad.
Bro, skill-wise, Tony's the best at the weight in my opinion.
I want to fight for him.
He gets knocked out after the 9th round, and all of his losses. Losses is 9th round knockout or later.
Like I said, I want to fight for him, but
what's important? His last fight was with the Argentinian guy that made Fundora look like shit. So
Sergio Garcia.
He UD'd that guy. That guy. It's not that he's great. It's that he not a pushover. He tough and he flurry. He throw punches and bunches. He come right at you. And Tony was able to handle that. So I'm like, he might have looked like shit with Perella, but he just looked all right with Garcia. So I'm like, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be.
Garcia comes to fight for him,
to give Tony, I guess, some leeway. I mean, mind you, the Garcia fight. I mean, the Bryan fight. That was right after his loss to Charlo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess you could say, so there are some factors in that fight. One, it was a stylistic disadvantage, as we mentioned, but then keep in mind, it was also your comeback fight.
And it was a long layoff, too.
And exactly, because Charlo was, 2019, and Bryant was, 2021.
Yeah, like he was out a while, so it could have been ring rust. We got this Lomachenko. Now that we got Cam, we got a couple of new heads in here that we don't really get to ask them a whole lot of questions. I'm going to go to Cam. Devin Haney, Vasyl Lomachenko, what you think about that?
Devin Haney baptizes Lomachenko in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. I'm shaking.
Amen, my brother.
Agree.
Listen, man, I'm tired of this Lomachenko hype train, bro. I'm
going to disagree with you on that because one at a time, fellas.
Sorry.
I'm going to disagree with you because if he was a hype train, ain't no motherfucking way you beat Gary Russell with a record of 1-1.
Look, I just call it.
Yeah, there is actually. There is.
All right, explain it.
I'm on my tribalism nationalist. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Raj, explain that shit.
Easy.
All right.
You can do it. You can do it if you've had 500 amateur fights and you're more prepared than the average fighter. He came into boxing as a pro. Basically, it's like having a race where you start off 2 yards ahead. So it doesn't mean he's
But do you consider that readiness? Because, there's a lot of guys that they have extended amateur careers. Like Joe Joyce, he's fucking 38, bro. You know what I mean?
That doesn't translate to more preparedness for me. That could potentially translate to less opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, we didn't have an outlet for this guy to get seen or recognized on a professional stage internationally. So keep fighting, stay busy, stay in shape.
But that's what I'm kind of saying, that some of those guys, not exclusive to the guys, because the girls do it too, they're career amateurs because they know that in their country ain't no motherfucking money in boxing, and Ukrainians and people from that region of the world making it into boxing. When you think about boxing as a whole, it's a fairly recent development. It's fairly recent that you started seeing fighters from Uzbekistan and Ukraine and all these other Ugastans and Kazakhstans and Stans at the end of the shit. That's some recent shit. So if you a Ukrainian, you like, well, what the fuck I'm gonna go pro for? Ain't no money for us in the game. That's why I'm like, when I be seeing, for example, was a guy, Mikhail Aloyan, another one that extended amateur career. And it's like, well, you kind of see why that if you go pro, it ain't going to be a whole legion of fans that's going to make you money. But I don't consider that hype, though, because if you hype, you ain't going to win 2 gold medals. Not if you a hype job.
Yeah, and to your point, like a lot of like international amateurs, they can get a government job and get like a stipend and shit like that. Like they don't have to turn pro. But even if you want to say that Loma had an advantage,
because I felt like it was it was an attempt.
Even if you want to say that Loma had an advantage,
you'll let him finish. He was talking.
My bad.
Julio, go ahead, and then I'm gonna pass it back to Kim.
Even if you want to say that Loma had an advantage because he had international amateur experience, so did Gary. He was a bronze medalist at the World Championships. He was a USA boxing like superstar. So
yeah, Gary was on the team, man. Him, a couple of guys was on the team, man. So I can't even. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. That when I hear people say that the guy's a hype job, I'm like, nah. A hype job is Edgar Berlanga. You not what they say you are. They got to match you a certain way for you to be that. That's a hype job to me. But if you actually got the amateur pedigree and you have those accolades, I don't look at that as a head start because everything is a trade-off. What a Lomachenko trades off for that amateur career is time. You don't have the shelf life of some other professional fighter because you spent so much time in the pros. So they got to move you fast. But it's all a trade-off. You like I said this in 2017. The videos are still up. That dude not going to be with us for a while. Like he going to be, before you know it, his career been done ended because he had an extended amateur career. But does that make him a hype job?
And keep in mind,
I said that being funny in the sense of I looked at Lomachenko as Bob Arum's attempt to manufacture another champion under that top ranked stable. But in my mind too, I had to say it, like Bob don't really promote black and brown fighters as much as he does Caucasian fighters. And I'm honestly
agree with that. Allow that talk, bro.
Beside that, who you got?
Lomachenko and Tyson Fury. Hey, Lomachenko and Tyson Fury got pushed to the forefront throughout Bud's entire career, even while he was undisputed.
Wait a minute. One at a time, fellas. There's too many people in a hurry to talk. I disagree because Bud was literally behind Tyson Fury, and that's really only because Tyson is a heavyweight. We know that the pay scale goes up as you go up
for sure.
weight. And Bud was getting way more money.
He was getting way more. That was the thing. He was getting way more money with less publicity. Like the reason I always
have the highest guarantee, dog.
Let me break it down. This is why I don't agree. Mm-hmm. When he fought Jose Benavidez, and Top Rank was really trying to push him. Mm-hmm. He fought Jose Benavidez. You don't have to believe me. Look it up yourself. That was the most watched fight in
on ESPN
of any combat sport, though, which is what makes it stand out. That fight got watched not just more than boxing matches, than MMA matches, than UFC shit. So they was pushing him, but where he hit the wall was when after the Benavidez fight, like, well, you can't get Danny because Danny don't want to fight.
And he don't want to fight. Well, but this was my thing though. As opposed, and this is where I saw the difference in the way that PBC marketed Arrow and Top Rank marketed Bud. We only primarily saw Terrence Crawford on the bottom line of the ESPN ticker. So if you didn't watch ESPN or you weren't a fan of boxing or of Terrence Crawford, you didn't know he was fighting. You didn't know he was coming up. Whereas when you saw a championship fight for a PBC guy, you literally saw banners everywhere. I saw freaking Errol Spence versus Sean Porter on my PlayStation 4 home screen when I turned it on. You understand what I'm saying? Like I saw it everywhere.
I'm not disagreeing, but see, my thing is this: if Bud's promotion suffered, right, and it really suffered at welterweight because while he was at 140, the viewing figures were actually really good. And
they were good.
And even when he fought Jeff Horn, the viewing figures was good. When he fought Benavidez, the viewing figures was good. It's after the Benavidez fight, which is when the bullshit started, they're like, oh, well, ain't none of them going to fight you. If you can't get the fights, ain't but so much promotion as it ain't going to make
you can do. But what I mean is, I'm going to keep it 1,000, Jules. When Bud became undisputed at 140, the week of the freaking undisputed fight, we got a Lomachenko commercial on ESPN all the way up in into the freaking Bud fight. You know what I'm saying? That's not even the highlight of what's going on. You know what I mean?
I get that, but when I look, Loma was listen. Bud made, which is ridiculous.
He made crazy money.
He made like $4 or $5 million for mankind.
He did.
Bud made $22 million. Bud made $22 million over his career.
But now, what I'll say is this, though.
I'm just telling you that I can't agree that he didn't get pushed when you invest in that kind of money in his career, because Loma wasn't getting that shit like
he wasn't getting nowhere near that dollar amount. But what I'm saying is this: as an undisputed champion, goddamn it, Bud should have been on the Wheaties box. He should have been on every ESPN channel.
What you describing is not actually on Top Rank. That's actually that's literally, if you talking about we want Bud to do it.
It was really being able to move him.
It's on his management, not his promoter. His promoter is only gonna promote his fights.
Exactly.
His manager is the one that got to get him on that Wheaties box.
I agree. Now, that I do agree with.
Got to get him a sneaker deal and a TV deal. All of that is separate from the
promotional portion. It's just the way I was really kind of on it was, hey man, if you're gonna promote this guy, and I'm seeing commercials of this guy, why am I not seeing commercials of the guy that's actually winning, that's bringing and doing the numbers, that's bringing y'all in the actual revenue that you're spending this money on?
I can answer that question for you, bro.
So where he does get these sponsorships.
Hold on. I'm answering the question. As he got to 147, bro, every single fucking champion, or at that time, bro, either with PBC, and nobody wanted to fight Bud. If no one's gonna fight him, what the fuck is there to promote?
Which is true. But fuck, they've been running from him since 135.
Fighting bums. Errol fighting bums or champions, and he ain't getting fuck
from him since 135. Mirage. They've been running. Look, remember when he came in at 135? He came in with Mike.
That's not Mirage.
Now hold on. Let me read these super chats because they piling up. PBC fans are unhappy in their lives. They look at boxing like pro wrestling storyline. It's not that they don't understand. It's self-imposed ignorance.
Oh, I love it.
Virtuoso says, it seems to me that some fight fans already have a built-in excuse in case Loma beats Haney. Like, it was Ramadan and it fucked up his conditioning. You know what I mean? Look, man, I've been saying that Devin is big. They just there's a picture of him next to Bud. He looks fucking huge.
Yes, he does.
He looks huge. Yes. And I'm like, making 35, it's not easy. Not for him. Because he's 24. He's still growing and all that.
Yeah. He's growing into himself, developing. Like, he can easily look like he easily can make 154.
I want to pass it to Mirage because I want him, I want to get his take on this. Now, you said he's a hype job, right?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Okay.
So you talked about Berlanga hype job. Is a hype job, and he's a hype job. To me, they're both hype jobs in different ways. So I'll explain. Berlanga's been presented as a killer, blah, blah, blah. He's garbage. He's B grade at best. That's why he's hype job, right? Now, Lomachenko, he's a very good fighter, but he's being presented as an all-time great, as a special fighter, as a legitimately great fighter. So in that sense, I think he's overrated, and he hasn't reached that standard in the ring.
Okay, can I say this? I agree because I've said this in many videos dating all the way back to 2018. I did think he was overrated. I never rated him number one pound for pound. The highest he ever got on my list is 2, and he lost ground. Like, you never got the number one. A lot of lists had him at number 1. I didn't. Do I think
he's never been in your top 10 ever since then?
No, because you know how my shit works. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time to apologize why you lost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time for that. Like, that's stupid, bro. The list is for winners and champions. It's not for fucking losers.
How many titles has Loma won, and how many divisions has he cleared out?
Well, he ain't clear out. Like, I don't ask that of him because most champions don't clear out divisions. So when one actually does, they get special credit. Like, give him special credit because you really cleared that out. Like, it's not cap. You cleared that out. But most champions, they don't actually clear out divisions. So I'm not going to hold that against him any more than I will hold it against somebody else. What I'm saying is, look, was the guy pound for pound? Yes. Was he number one? No. I had Chocolatito at number one. Then he lost to Sorun Visa. He got knocked the fuck out.
Got knocked out.
Ward slipped in behind Choco because I had him behind Choco. Then Crawford did his thing at 40. He slipped past Ward because I said, look, Crawford undisputed. You never did that. You didn't even do that at 68. Bang. So Crawford I had at number one. Then I had Canelo for a while. Then I ain't going front. A lot of people gave me shit about this, but I'll explain. I did have Manny at number one for beating Keith Thurman. And my ex, I'm not, no, wait, let me explain. If you could show me a fighter that was active, that fought more Hall of Famers in more divisions, took more belts from more champions than Manny, then I'll put him at number one. But if you can't show me that, Manny must be pound for pound number one because this man is damn near 40 whooping ass. How could you not be number one?
That was special. That was a special performance, yeah.
I get what you. I get what you're saying. I
see what I'm saying. If you could show me a guy, because I said it then. A lot of these guys that y'all like, they not gonna be out here at this age doing what he just did. So that shows that he is a different.
Sure. That was like Donaire and Ubali. Kind of,
Donaire and Ubali was like that. Donaire.
Thank you. When I put Donaire, when I put Donaire on my list after the Ubali fight, I put Donaire on there, and I was getting shit, and I'm like, you're not understanding. Do you see that Nonito is already a 4-division champion? He took belts from like 6 different champions throughout his career. This is another dude. And not only did he whoop his ass, like completely whoop his ass, but the dude is mad younger than him. He mad younger than him. So
like he went out and just put a whooping on a young lion and
that was
I'm like, for you to be that age and still out here beating the shit out of people like this, you just a different kind of gravy.
Yeah, certain fighters are special like that.
That was why B-Hop was always a different type of gravy on people's list for so long. I get it.
Yo, Donaire is a different type of gravy. Donaire is a different type of gravy, fam.
Yeah.
Can I just say, somebody mentioned Lomachenko.
People always gave this man, he's the next great white hype. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, he's the greatest thing since.
You know what this shit is? It's a difference between the hyperbole of the, like, for example, Bob said this shit, and like, listen, man, don't use Ali name for shit. That's how I feel. I'm a Capricorn. Ali's a Capricorn, goddammit. And I'm like, you could compare him to, compare him to Nicolino Loche. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think Nicolino, like, you know what? He fought in more 10-rounders than people fucking realize. But, if you're going to compare him to somebody, compare him to Nicolino or somebody. But you saying, he's the best I've seen since Ali. I don't get mad because you saying that. That's what you saying. That's how you feel.
That's your opinion.
Plus, I know you promoting. You got to do that. You have to. Like, who he compared to Marvin Hagler? He very recently compared Yanni Beck to Marvin Hagler.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Marvin Hagler.
That's an insult to that. That man is turning his grave.
Listen, ahead of the Denzel Bentley fight, he was like, this guy's like Marvin Hagler. I'm like, no.
Damn, we'll say anything to sell a fight, won't he?
Do you know how many fucking fights Marvin had before he got the fifth a world title, bro?
Yo, this is how you know Bob is getting old. You know that. You know when elderly people get to that certain age where they only remember like the same story. He only gives you Marvin Hagler or Muhammad Ali. Them the only
Cam. Let me champ this shit for once, Jules. Bob is an old Jew. Jews, as they age, they get wiser. They don't get dumber, man. Trust me, that old man is sharper in his old age.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like Bob knows it's hyperbole. You know, like he knows it's hyperbole. But let's not forget what the fuck he is. He's a promoter. He told me and you that Joseph Parker was going to beat Anthony Joshua. Everybody forgot that. He said that.
Jules. He also said Kubrat Pulev was going to beat him too.
Exactly. I was about to say one thing as a promoter, your guy has to be the greatest thing since. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be
like nobody thought Kubrat like, bro, come on now. You really think really? But he's still. I know that a part of it is just it comes with the territory. Like, yeah, you gotta talk that shit, but it's still some bullshit. And I'm gonna still make a video calling it bullshit.
Is it safe to say Bob was on this Jerry Jones shit right there?
Bob is so old, he was a witness on Ortiz's birth certificate, bro.
Bob out here tripping. I'm glad he didn't compare Berlanga. Yo, if he had, bro, they'd have crucified like really fans.
Bob that compared Tyson to Ali? Because I know someone did. I forget who it was because it was during.
He said Tyson Fury would beat Ali.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Speaking of Tyson, did you guys see him saying that thing of him saying that Andrade was the boogeyman?
No, I seen that. Wait. I wonder if Tyson seen the boogeyman, the boogity man, get sat on his back pocket by Desmond Nicholson.
I reckon no.
And that's the shit I'm talking about. That look, I'm going to say it. If it's up to me, and I had to choose who Canelo going to fight, it's Boogeyman Andrade, Charlo, and your man Mirage Benavidez. Because I feel that those are all three of the more winnable fights than fighting Dimitri. 68 or 75, it's the same shit.
The rematch shouldn't happen. He doesn't deserve the rematch.
But we saw the Gypsy King beat up Deontay Wilder for 10 rounds and wake up like the Undertaker. Look, after getting this whole
but see, this the other thing. The setup for what Tyson Fury did was already there before you walked into that. Because this is the thing about Wilder. Wilder was on Golden Boy, for those that don't know. Wilder was on Golden Boy the whole, I'll say 7 years out of his career was all Golden Boy promotions. You see that he got like a Munguia resume that it's just mad nothing.
Cans.
That's Golden Boy. That's when he was with Golden Boy, right? So you knocking over all these guys, right? And you was in the same era as Vitaly, as Vladimir, as Derek, as David Price. All these guys that they was doing things, they winning fights, they losing fights, but they getting down. Povetkin getting down, Pulev getting down, Derek getting down, Helenius getting down. Everybody mixing and mixing up and fighting. And you out here, you fighting at the mall. You fighting fat guys at the mall. And I'm like, well, yeah, you go ahead.
See it this way.
If you gave Derek Chisora, the same 32 guys that Wilder fought before he fought Stavern, he had the same knockout record as Wilder.
I'm about to say he had the same record.
Well, put it this way, what Wilder did, he walked all the way around the block to get into the entrance rather than walking through the shortcut. But at the shortcut, motherfuckers are waiting for you, bro. You ain't going in.
And this is what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, that the setup for Fury was perfect because it was already there, that there was already promotion going into Wilder being up there with Foreman, even though that's blasphemy to my ears. Like, you're not like you. George stopped Joe in 2 rounds.
Ragdolled him.
6 knockdowns.
That was when they both was knocking fools the fuck.
They were both unbeaten.
But let me give you a perspective. Joe Frazier shared the ring with Muhammad Ali for 45 rounds. 45 fucking rounds. Not. Let me land the plane. He couldn't make it out the second round with George Foreman. It's like you're not in the same universe as George Foreman. But because like his knockout joint, Wilder knockout shit reminds me of Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs holds the record for the most first round knockouts. But go look at who he was knocking out. Go look.
I've been saying that for ages about Wilder.
Hey, Jules, so are you saying that Wilder was fighting mall cops?
Probably was.
He whooped the top flight security of the world. Club bouncers, school teachers.
And he lost one. By the way, I don't know if y'all knew this, but the guy who nearly slept him, Harold Sconiers, I heard he moonlighted as a snowplower.
I was about to say, fun fact. What's the name of the movie with?
So let me say this. Between them promoting Wilder as being a bigger puncher than he actually is, because I don't actually believe that Wilder has legendary power. I believe he's a strong puncher, yes, but I don't believe that you are what they say you are. The biggest punchers, in my opinion, is either George Foreman, Ernie Shavers, or Sonny Liston. And of course, I got to put my man Mike in there.
Ron Lyle, honorable mention too.
But when I think of legendary punches, they come up. Not Wilder.
Johnson, Julian Hawk Johnson, yeah.
But because
I'll put Vlad Klitschko above Wilder as well.
I put Klitschko above Wilder.
Here's another point. I brought this up the other day. Vladimir has knocked out more men than Wilder has fought.
And higher quality, much higher quality men.
It's 53 knockouts over top contenders, not Brawl at the Mall, not Eric Molina's top contenders.
Okay, hold on. But okay, can we? Because I gotta say this, because I get what you saying, and it's true. But we didn't call Vlad really a knockout artist because of the style and the fashion and the way that he did it, the way. No,
I know what you're saying. The aesthetic, I got you. But I'm just saying that if you put them guys,
way more of a knockout artist.
He leaned on 53 guys.
I'm just saying, Cam. If I took them 32 guys, and whether it's Vlad or Derek or anybody, if I took them same 32 guys that Wilder was starching in the first 7 years of his career, Derek had that same knockout record. Vlad punched motherfuckers from the Ukraine all the way to Central America. If he was wasting his time with the guys that Wilder was fighting.
Vlad is a monster, dog. Vlad is a monster.
Didn't Vlad knock out Wilder cold in sparring? That's pretty much.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but here's the difference. But here's the difference, Mirage. You see, unlike nowadays, Vlad has this thing called etiquette and responsibility and respect that what happens in sparring is irrelevant to your career. Sadly, nowadays people don't listen to that same mentality.
Exactly. He was a gentleman. Vlad, the story is, and it's corroborated by several different people. Vlad, basically, they were sparring, and this is also confirmed by, I think, James Ali Bashir also. He said they were sparring, so Wilder decided to take it up a notch in sparring. So he tried to get wild with Vlad, and Vlad was like, "Oh, all right, I got you," and he hit him with a left hook to the body and left him seasoned on the floor. That's corroborated by both James Ali Bashir and Dillian White.
Hey, Jules, if you look at Mike's knockout percentage and Big George, it's very close, but George is slightly higher.
George is still higher.
No, I'll tell you what. If I think about the PSI, I think PSI wise, George probably hit harder than Mike.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's no question.
But also, fellas, y'all remember the other man to go to have a trilogy with Ali and probably never decisively beat Ken Norton. George wiped his ass out into as well.
Yes. Hey, he smoked Ken Norton.
And that's saying because Ken was tough, bro. Ken was tough.
Ken was rugged, man. Ken was rugged, and he could crack too. Ken could crack.
But there's a difference.
And that's a big.
He broke Ali's jaw.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Didn't he break Ali's jaw?
Yes,
Single punch. I don't think there's nobody in history that punched harder than Ernie Shavers. Single punch. If it's punch and power in both hands, then we could go to George Foreman, then we go to Mike Tyson. But single punch, I think Ernie Shavers punched harder than anybody.
Let me say this. I might agree with you because this is the thing about Ernie. It was his own. It was his own contemporary saying that, which is what makes it different. Everybody he fought is like, nah, B, it's Ernie. It's definitely like the hardest guy that
everybody.
Everybody. Everybody. When he hit Ali body shook.
You know who else was a hard puncher, but a lot of people didn't think about it? And George fought him, and they had a hell of a fight. Ron Lyle.
Ron Lyle, yeah.
Ron Lyle, yeah. But Ron Lyle was just a hardened man.
Punch, man, because he put Foreman on his face in that fight.
Hey, but back then,
Ron Lyle ain't no joke.
It was like back then the style of fighter was different, man. These guys were rugged, big, strong, fucking factory workers. Farm,
I'm gonna tell you what was cracking. The shit is it go back to that old proverb: hard times breed hard people.
Hard times. We run nothing but soft times now.
When you hear that Joe Frazier, what he had to do to get to the gym, to train, just to get to the gym, it was different. Just to get to the shit. You got guys
that had a passion because he really did what he had to do to get there, and it was hard.
I mean, all the exploits that Rocky did in the movie was shit he did.
Now let me go. Now let me land the plane with this Wilder shit. With this Wilder shit, right? The reason that Tyson Fury basically got to be injected, that he has this air about him, is because he beat the supposed monster puncher. But when you really analyze Wilder, like, fam, you not really no monster.
He knock out shit.
He had no fundamental skill set in behind.
Fury ended up the puncher in that matchup ultimately, didn't he?
You know what made me laugh? Wilder actually had the nerve to say that he would have beat Mike Tyson. Tyson said he would beat Mike.
Fuck out of here.
My ass. If you want to know how the fuck Mike Tyson versus Wilder would have went, watch the sparring footage with David Hay.
Thank you.
He was giving you the business. And let me tell you one motherfucking thing, that David Hay ain't no Mike Tyson, but he was giving Wilder the business.
I was about to say, do you see what Mike's footwork was like? Do you see what Mike's head movement was like?
Wilder wouldn't have known what to do. Wilder would not
have folded him very fast.
He wouldn't have made it past. He wouldn't have made it past 2 rounds.
They wouldn't have went 2 rounds, bro. He wouldn't have made it out the first round.
Probably the first. Yeah, 1 or 2. Two max.
I guarantee you, right hook, right uppercut, system, right on. Like, bro, if Harold Skonez had you on Queer Street, bro, stop it. Stop it.
Mike, hospital, man. Yeah, Mike making it do the stanky leg for sure.
Y'all can call me a fanboy. Y'all call me a fanboy all y'all want. I'm gonna say it, and I don't give a shit. Nobody beat Mike. Cocaine beat Mike.
Abner Ortega says soft times brings Errol.
This shit. Yes, Lord. And
We're not gonna do Floyd like that. We're not gonna do Floyd like that. Floyd fought people, bro. Floyd fought people.
Floyd fought a lot of champions.
He fought people though. He fought really good people. All I'm gonna say is, Wilder.
Matter of fact, fellas, like right quick, who's that dude that Mike Tyson fought? Was a Jose Revolta that was tall?
Yeah,
Mike dropped him with the left to the body and the uppercut.
The body.
And he got dropped. He was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'm gonna tell you.
I remember.
I say it all the time. The regular guys from back then, like James Quick Tillis, the boxing cowboy, motherfucking Tyrell Biggs, they'll give guys the business.
Oh yeah,
they'll win belts.
Yeah. Even Pinklin Thomas, even
Tony Tubbs. I'll back Tony Tubbs to fucking beat up a lot of these guys.
Tony Tubbs, Tony Tucker. Them guys will win belts in this era. I guarantee.
Buster Douglas would have been undisputed in this day.
Could you imagine
Tim Witherspoon as well. Tim Witherspoon is underrated as well. Him too.
I'm gonna say this: the difference between the last eras of big men and this era of big men that I see is these big men be trying to box. They don't even really be wanting to fight. They try and box. They try and have an old boxing match. You watch the average boxing match from the 1990s. Motherfuckers is fighting like they fighting for a parking spot. Like they go crazy.
They trying to kill each other, man.
Yeah. Razor, Riddick Bowe.
Oh my God, bro!
Imagine a Ray Mercer or a Burt Cooper in today's division, man.
Razor putting fools in comas with his left hook today.
Yeah, Ray Mercer, come
David Tua.
Oh my God, the Ray Mercer.
Ooh, Ray, my favorites, and that's the difference that I see. That the big men of back then, they was having scraps. Your average fight, your Mercer Demiani, your Ruiz jump versus David Tua. Y'all seen what he did to David Tua and what John Ruiz did. 34 seconds, David Tua lays that man out. Lays that man 34
Send him to the shadow realm.
You know what? Jerry Cooney would have been tearing people up today.
Yes.
What about Michael Jones?
100%.
Somebody just mentioned Michael Grant in the chat. I mean, that's what Wilder reminds me of. He's like a modern day Grant.
He is a modern day Michael Grant. Bro, I think that because he was protected for such a long time, he literally got to skip an entire era of heavyweights because he's not. And I say it all the time. He is not from this era. He's from the Klitschko era. He debuted in 2008. Both Vlad and Vitaly was around when you was coming through, and you ain't want no problems.
I mean, basically, he was a bronze medalist, and he didn't win his first world title until 7 years afterwards.
Now, peep game, Virtuoso. Who else is a bronze medalist in this era? Philippe Hergovic.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you see them spoon feeding him split peas and apples? I ain't even trying to say that he nice. I'm not saying that he nice. I'm just saying that, yo, dog.
Bro,
how many fights he had?
First 38 fights, bro. It's just been a fucking Fisher-Price hoop set, bro.
For real, like what I'm saying is, all right, Philippe, for better or worse, he's knocking on the door of world title contention. Not because I think he's nice, but it characterizes that, okay, whoever handled his career, they willing to let him fight people. You was a bronze medalist, Wilder, and for 7 years, you was eating split peas and applesauce and journeyman and fat cruiserweights, and it's like, yeah, you was protected, bro.
And fat light heavyweights.
If not for you being that protected, they would have turned your ass into a gatekeeper if you was really fighting people in that era. But you was protected for that whole era.
Didn't fight at Takam, didn't fight at Chisora.
Didn't fight shit, bro.
No Samuel Peter.
Did any of you guys hear that Tua was actually trying to make a comeback, even though
I heard that shit.
I wish he did.
No.
The heavyweight division was what?
He's too old.
Power's the last thing to go, man. Like you said.
Nah, son, don't do that to David. Bro.
I mean, he got power. He still had power.
The man is 50 years old. The man is 50
I want to see that tomorrow. Like, just rock people, bro.
Man is 50 years old.
He was in a bad way and homeless and living in his car. So that's
didn't Ike get out of jail and he said he was going to do?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Ike's out.
He's out.
He got out, bro. But he said he was. He really said he was going to do it.
Dude, Dave, I'm telling you,
that man is 50
who got out?
Ike Iabuchi. He said he
was going to
come back. The president, Abeabuchi.
God, I love this fight with Castillo. That fight he had with Tua was a classic. I love that.
Yeah, but hold up, I'm still waiting for Castillo to come back.
If that dude could get his head.
Have you seen the latest video of Abeabuchi? He's still fucking jacked. He's still fucking muscular.
I don't doubt that he like. I seen a video of Chris Bird. He cut more than me.
He's a light middleweight now. Chris Bird's a light middleweight now.
So who you got between Ike and
hold up,
this guy?
I saw a video on Chris Bird, dude. He may look cut, but he's doing bad as far as like his. He said his legs are in so much pain. He actually considered amputating them.
Wow, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, no, he's not good at all.
What the fuck wrong with his legs, man?
He's got some kind of disease. I forgot what it was. It came from boxing, and his legs are like on fire. He literally said in the video he was talking about having him amputated. He really wanted to because he was
probably some nerve damage shit, bro. That's what that's.
He was never an actual heavyweight, was he?
Because he was not in a good way, man. I mean, he was otherwise, but he's on psych meds and everything.
Oh wow!
Chris Bird was never an actual heavyweight, was he?
Nah, he not. I mean, by today's standards, he'd have been a Bridgerweight. By today's standards, shit.
He'd have been king of Bridgerweight in his speed.
Yeah. But Wilder would have been if he would have fought people. If he wouldn't have just skipped that whole era, which he did, he would have been a gatekeeper.
He'd have like 8 L's for real.
Like I know Povetkin was on the pads, but really, I don't give a shit, bro. Because I came to the conclusion we're all on pads. I'm on pads right now. Fuck it.
He fought Ortiz.
Exactly. You fought Ortiz, and he been got popped for Nandrolone in 2014.
Yeah, he fought him. You can't be selectively outraged.
If you're mad at guys on pads and you fight him, you can't be mad at another guy's on pads.
Exactly. You like let's skip the ped conversation because Fury got popped for the same pads that Ortiz got popped for. So let's cut the fucking crap. If you would have fought Povetkin, you would have lost. He would have lost. I'm telling you, he would have lost. Little dude like that, side to side, left hook over the top. You would have lost, bro. You wouldn't have had nothing for that dude.
I think he would have lost if he fought Chisora.
I agree with that too. That overhand right. That overhand right over the top.
What do you think that fight's going to be against Ruiz if they make it? Do you think Ruiz stands a decent chance? Is that a 50?
If Ruiz can take, hey, you know what? If Ruiz can move his head off the fucking line,
but that's
because Ruiz actually has hand speed and power.
We got to say that, and that's the next fight. And the fact that you have to say that, they're like, "Can you move your head, bro?"
I think Ruiz is going to get clipped. He's going to get hit.
He might survive the clip, though.
If he would just move his head.
It's not a question of whether or not Wilder will land the right hand. I believe he will. It's what happens after that. If you don't knock him out and you break that hand, you in trouble.
And I'm going to be real with you. And that's what I was going to say. If he can't knock Ruiz out, Ruiz clips him. Because Ruiz is rugged. I done seen Ruiz in some wars.
I'm telling you, Ruiz Parker. The reason Parker became polite is because of Andy Ruiz. Before that Andy Ruiz fight, he used to go to the body. He used to go combinations.
Parker was knocking people out before that. He was knocking people out.
Motherfuckers out until really it's the Takam fight, but also. Andy caused him to just calm down.
All the way down, bro.
Chill. Cool. Just box, yo. Just box. Work off
you gotta relax. Yeah. You gotta relax.
Even if Joshua calm down, we gotta keep it real.
How many people know that Parker fought Francois Bartha? Bartha was old as shit, bro. He looked like the Colonel from KFC. He had the beard and all like with the hair.
I couldn't believe that. It's like I thought he retired years ago.
Bro, he beat the shit out of Bartha though, and that's when Parker was on his killer shit. Like he was really throwing body shots and all. I'm like, yo, this kid, he looked like some shit until Andy Ruiz.
Luis Ortiz fought Burt Cooper. That shit blew my mind. My
thing is, Andy has the hand speed that gives Wilder problems.
But not the foot speed to get there, bro. Not the foot speed to get. This is his problem. You got to get inside. What happens to you trying to get inside?
Wilder don't have the techniques to keep you at bay, bro. It's not like Wilder has a jab. And better footwork that's just gonna keep you outside of his.
Wilder does.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wilder
does Andy get on the inside? Does he get there?
It's gonna be very hard for him to get there. Wilder does have the technique to keep you at bay. That was Bermain Savard in the first fight. He does have the technique to keep you at bay. Wilder don't show it much, but he does have the technique.
You think he could keep Andy out the whole 12?
No, I think he hits Andy with some crazy shit, but I think Andy survives it, gets inside, and destroys him.
What the
bro? I can't.
That's good money.
Hey, this is how Andy wins the fight. Andy gonna have to fight through adversity. He's gonna knock Andy down, but the thing is, Andy's gonna get up, and it's going to fuck Wilder up because that's all Wilder has.
I'm gonna tell you, this the main shit. And y'all know I don't fuck with Wilder, but this is the main shit.
All this fat together for that punch.
This is the main shit. Ortiz is slow, and he caught you with the straight left like 3 times, and he is slow. Wilder still has snap on his shot. He still got snap. So I'm like, listen, man, if Ortiz can hit you with the left, this guy can hit you with the right.
But to your point, Jules, we don't know, and we've been asking this question for a long time. I've been asking this question for a while, but then after the Brazil fight, I calmed down a little bit. I shut the fuck up a little bit. But how elite is Wilder's right hand for real?
That's
how elite is it?
That's facts. That's facts.
Listen, this isn't my.
It's only elite to guys who try to fight him on the outside.
And how many surgeries has he had on that hand?
Yeah,
like 9. Like 9.
Hey, because if he's doing it, he throws every right hand with bad intentions at the same speed.
He does, but like
he throws
it breaks his hand.
He throws his whole body into it.
He breaks his hand. He breaks
his
hand when he does it.
I mean, he breaks his hand. But I want to ask this question: is Wilder's power overrated? Because how many of those guys he knocked out went to the hospital?
No. Wait a minute.
He didn't knock out Duopau.
Wait a minute.
I can't say it is when he knocked out Stavern.
Listen. No. It's overrated, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. When he fought Stavern the first time, right? He didn't knock him out, and and Stavern had been knocked out before. He got TKO'd by Demetrius King, so it's not like he had never been knocked out. He had been knocked out, but the first time they fought, you couldn't knock that man out, and you was hitting him. You was hitting him. Them shots was getting in, but you couldn't knock him out. So I do believe, this dude is overrated, because if you took that same Stavern and you put him in there with, say, Derek Chisora, he getting knocked out, fam.
But the difference
this question again, guys.
Go ahead. I was gonna say the difference
how
is
many guys have you seen? How many guys have you seen actually being stretched out, like carried on the stretcher after Wilder?
That's the only guy that really come to mind is Spilka, but Spilka don't have no chin, bro. Everybody that knocks Spilka out, it's always like this is a byproduct of Americans that don't watch world boxing, I believe. I know that Wilder laid him out bad. I'm not even saying that he didn't. But so did Derek. Derek destroyed that man. Like
Wilder is explosive, but he's also accurate, because a lot of his knockouts are flash knockouts, or he catches that chin real.
What I give,
and if he's accurate, how does he miss for every single round until that shot lands?
The man is a window puncher. What do you mean?
He's prolific. I give Wilder his credit for one thing. And
when he lands, he lands.
But not that. He always finds a way to land. And every single Wilder fight, he lands the right hand. So
I'm gonna tell you,
give him his respect.
I'm gonna tell you what happens in every single Wilder fight. And when I say it, you gonna agree. The real issue is when he fight guys that could fight back a little bit, they start having success.
Yeah.
It's not that he making something happen. It's that they start doing dumb shit. Stick to the shit that was working. They try him and get caught.
Get caught.
Yes.
That's why I call his right hand the cheat code.
But what I'm saying is that Wilder knocks people out when he gets full extension on that right hand. Like even Stavern survived because he was smothering him. And
I've seen him knock people out without full extension.
His only chance is to get on the inside. Like his only chance, he's not going to be able to box him on the outside. His only chance is to get up close.
Can we say he has equal power in both hands because he did?
No, hell no.
Have you seen anyone be knocked out by a left hook?
Wasn't that a left hook he dropped Tyson Fury with? Hold on.
Listen.
Wasn't that a left hook he dropped Tyson Fury
with?
No.
Let me tell you one thing. It is a very short list of two-handed punches, and Wilder is not on that list.
Not at all.
I just want to ask. I gotta ask the panel. I gotta ask the people.
In the heavyweight division,
he knocked Fury, but he got up from it.
Yeah,
he got him like the Undertaker, though, bro. He got him like he was late for work with a hangover. That.
Nah, son. Wilder's not a two-handed puncher.
No,
even in this era that we in right now, I can really only think of one two-handed puncher, and that's Artur. That's the only guy I know that dude got power. He got power in his foot. Fuck his hands. He got power. No man,
Crawford does.
Crawford said he got power in both hands. So
in the heavyweight division, I probably say Andy has power in both hands.
Andy does.
I would say Joe Joyce because he has the power jab, and
he has accumulation power. That's what he has.
Yeah, I don't know about Joe
Joyce. Joe Joyce don't have one punch knockout power, bro. He don't have one punch knockout power.
No, he doesn't. Neither does Andy. Neither does Andy. Andy don't have one punch knockout power.
He has good power though.
He has good power. He don't got one.
He has decent power, especially in short range, man. In a short range.
Y'all both wrong. Y'all both wrong because Andy power don't come from his hands. It come from his trunk. The fatter he is, the stronger he is.
I mean,
when he tried to get skinny, listen, when he tried to get skinny, I know for a fact I'm the only person that said it, bro. You supposed to be fat. You're not supposed to be skinny. That's gonna make you weaker.
But that's not what makes Andy Ruiz special anyway. That's not what makes Andy Ruiz special. What makes Andy Ruiz special, more special than every other heavyweight in the heavyweight division, is he turns the volume up. He changes the volume on his punches in mid combination. He's the only fighter that does that, dog.
And that's what I mean.
That's what makes him special.
That's what I'm saying. For better or worse, he is moving. He actually is moving his feet more. If you watch the Ortiz and Arreola fight, for better or worse, he is moving his feet more.
No, and the performance. I also want to add that performance is negligible because he was coming off a long layoff, and I don't blame him for it because he actually tried to get a fight and they pulled him out of that shit. He was supposed to fight the kickboxer that looked like Nesta Gibbs, Tyrone Spong, the Triller.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight him, and they told him, "Nah, son. You gotta fight Luis Ortiz." And it's like, I bet he gotta fight Luis Ortiz, but why the fuck it took y'all so long to do that fight? In the time it took y'all to do that fight, he could have fought Spong, made some money, and then fought Ortiz.
And then fought Ortiz.
You know the PBC.
It was some bullshit.
Yeah, you know how PBC rocking though, man. You know how it's going.
If I'm picking Ruiz, right? If I'm picking Ruiz, I'm banking on his ability to close the gap and smother Wilder's work.
I don't think he moved his head enough, and that's the problem. You can't look. This the other shit, right? We assuming that the shit is like a movie. That he gonna land the right hand, and Andy gonna have a Rocky moment after that. Look, you probably gonna be woozy after that shit. Probably gonna.
No, Andy's gonna fight back through adversity. I really feel like Andy's gonna fight through adversity.
Yeah,
he's gonna knock Andy down, and Andy gets up and fights through it.
Andy took AJ.
Unless they gonna give him a cheeseburger in the corner, unless they gonna give him a cheeseburger in the corner.
Hey, listen.
No, they gotta give him a Snickers.
He can take AJ Flush. He can take Wilder.
If he can take a Wilder shot, the fight's not gonna last as long as you think, bro.
A Snickers bar. That's expensive.
The right hand he took from Joshua the third round is crazy. Listen, unless you know how they got the smelling salt, right? Unless they gonna pull out a Snickers bar and make him
exactly. No, they gotta put some tajin. They gotta put that tajin like seasoning, that chili.
They're gonna have a George Foreman grill in the corner, man.
Nah, but all right, two scenarios. I do see two scenarios because I can literally see Andy getting TKO'd because he won't stay down. I could see him getting TKO'd. That accumulation, a referee stoppage. I could see that. One of them crazy Wilder stoppages. But I could also see Wilder, if you break your hand on this fat motherfucker, you in trouble. You in big because you don't. Wilder don't really have a jab like that. Like his jab, you throw it the same way.
You saying that he breaking his hand? You saying that he breaking his hand? He don't gotta break his hand. Look at what happened with Ortiz. He got inside and slipped and threw a fucking left hook that Wilder didn't see coming. Caught Wilder, and Wilder was hurt. Seventh round, he was devastated.
Oh no, he was
even look at get inside. Ruiz could get inside and just simply hurt him.
Fury beat him on the inside. He wasn't moving his head that much. He just put his head on his shoulder.
I'm about to say, but Andy don't move his head off the line.
Julio angles. That
go back to my first point.
Let me say this. The difference, Julio, is while I do agree with you, it's not like Ortiz was moving his head like that. He's a southpaw. He moving that way. So either way, his head ain't gonna be on the line for Wilder to throw the shit, not straight away. It wasn't until Ortiz started getting fresh with him that, all right, now you're gonna get hit with some shit. Why? You keep opening up. If you box him, you really can't do nothing. And as long as he was boxing him, you was cool until you tried to fight him. You gave him an opportunity to get off the right hand. That's the difference. With Andy, look, Andy's shorter. He's shorter. You not within arm's reach of this guy. If y'all throw the punch at the same time, who punch you think gonna land? Wilder's. Way on the outside. Way on the outside. So
that's why I'm like, Andy gonna have to move. Andy don't move his head enough. Andy just
he get in a high guard. Like there's two things you could do to deal with this guy's reach. You're either gonna move that head or you're gonna move that torso to fight on a swivel. He doesn't do neither. He gets
don't do and come straight forward. Yeah,
that's true.
No, I disagree, Julius, because Andy Ruiz knocked down Anthony Joshua by slip and counter.
Yeah, on the inside,
he did. No,
he did it with Ortiz.
No. Wait a minute.
I get what you're saying.
He was close to him already when he slipped and countered.
Hey, but do you know how many punches he took to get there? Do you know how many slips?
Hold on, wait. I can't hear.
Wait. One at a time, Leo. This is what you forgetting. What initiated the exchange? Where Andy got the knockdown Joshua was Joshua threw a left hook and slipped into it. So he didn't have to track Anthony down. Anthony came to him through that left hook and then you got caught. But you was already there. I'm saying what's going to happen to you if Wilder don't come to you? What's going to happen to you on the way to Wilder? What's going to happen?
Hold on.
You got a threat of one punch. You got a threat of one punch.
Hold on.
But isn't Wilder more like a sniper from the outside? He's not a bombing guy to keep him off him. But we know Wilder's not a bombing guy.
Have the footwork.
He has to rely on one shot, one kill. If you don't land, then it's an opportunity for Ruiz to get inside to split the punches.
If the person could deal with his power,
and then Wilder doesn't like feints either. Wilder reacts really badly to feints.
Oh, he doesn't. He does react to feints. Everything. He reacts to everything.
Like I said, that's one PBC pay-per-view that I will buy, even though I know the undercard is going to be dog shit.
Trash.
It's going to be dog shit. That is one fight.
Yo, Jules, does Wilder beat Hergovic right now?
No.
Nah, I'm going to tell you why not. Hergovic guard, the right hand is going to get through them holes in his guard. It'll get through.
But Hergovic survive it and destroy him.
And then he pulls his head back.
Yeah, let me tell you this, bro.
I'm asking questions, fam. I'm just asking.
I know, let me go ahead, Jules.
Okay. I'm saying that if you Hergovic, fam, Zhang had you looking crazy out here.
Yes, I agree.
And Zhang, see, the thing is, I measure Zhang not against Hergovic. I measure him against Jerry Forrest. Now, my man, Jared Anderson, he beat the shit out of Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds. No must, right? Then you went life or death with this same Jerry Forrest. So just because you look good with Hergovic, that might not be because you all that. That might be because he ain't all that.
But we give Zhang a pass on that fight.
I want to see the styles.
We give Zhang a pass on that fight.
And you know another defensive mistake Hergovic makes? He pulls his head back a lot. And you're too tall to be doing that type of shit, bro.
Hergovic is turning away from punches, though.
If Wilder
his face away from punches, though. In the middle of the fight, though.
In the middle of the fight.
That's sad.
Yo, he's actually doing that, though.
No, Hergovic and Murtasali have the same problem, that they're both trash.
Yeah.
That's why I like it when
I was waiting for him to say some
prolific shit. Hey, he's waiting on some
prolific give it to you raw and real.
Nah, I'm straight to it.
Go ahead, Leo.
Look, I've been watching some of the Hergovic fights. And then I saw the Silei-Sang fight, and I saw it. Oh, okay. Now I see why your power looks that way. Because the other refs, they let you fight in the inside like you like. Yeah, those occipital low punches. At the very first moment that the referee called that you cannot do that shit, your boxer was out. And you lost that fight. And Murtazaev has the same problem.
And Josh Taylor.
Let me say two things.
I wanted to say something to Leo. I actually wanted to say something to Leo real quick. I wanted to say, I think Wilder loses to Hergovic, but I think Joshua beats Hergovic. I wanted to hear what Leo had to say on that.
No.
That's my
Hergovic power is not that. You get fight in that way in your hometown when you have home field advantage and the ref lets you do what you want to do. But at the moment you step out and the referee calls your bullshit, it's over. You're gonna look mad regular against all the guys in the top.
Thank you, Leo.
It's not because I like her. It's not because I like Hergovic or I like Wilder. I'm just saying that with Hergovic, I could see him getting caught coming in because you got that. There's nothing wrong with the European style. It's just that it's vulnerable to other styles, and they get in and out of range with their feet. They don't really change levels like that. Yeah. They don't change levels like that. It's like Vosdick and Betterbiev, for example. The reason Vosdick get caught is because your torso is right here and your shit is moving your feet to get out the way. But when he come over with the shit, your head is still there. I see Hergovic with that same shit. They're like, torso.
Maybe I said it wrong. I think Hergovic beats Wilder, but I think Joshua beats Hergovic.
I'm just saying I don't know that. I do because Hergovic, like, one, who the fuck Hergovic beat that I'm gonna be high on him anyway? The main reason that motherfuckers, this is the main shit. And it's not Monday morning quarterback, but it's just that, okay, why people call him the boogeyman? Because the IBF went down their ranks 2 times and then nobody want to fight. That's where it came from. It didn't come from you fucking somebody up. It came from that every time they asked somebody about you, they was like, nah, he got a unibrow. No, I don't want to fight him. But you didn't really beat nobody, though.
You're right. You're right, Drew.
So that's my case against Adonis Stevenson. He didn't want no part of that Betterbiev unibrow.
No, these hairy motherfuckers could fight, man. Like, I don't want to fight these hairy motherfuckers.
But Yoka, Bakole, all of them, everybody turned them down. Think about that.
Michael Hunter.
Nobody want to deal with Foley, bro. Nobody want to deal with him, bro. The way he looked at Frenchman's ass, nobody want to deal with him, bro. That really looked like a father whooping his son's ass, though. Like, when you just look at, it's like, is that his dad? Because that's what that shit look like.
Why are you running?
And Yoka tried everything. Like, whenever he would get something going, no, just slapping the shit out of him. Whenever he throw a little 2-punch combo, no, fuck out of here. Like, bro, I don't know what's gonna happen to him. He about to fight Takam. I like that fight, but it's because you might get your ass whooped. I
like Carlos.
Carlos is tricky defensively, but offensively, he not that big a puncher. And that's kind of Tony's out, that Carlos Takam is not that big a puncher, but when you try to get off on him, he real tricky. You see what he did to Makhmudov. You keep trying for that same one too, I'm going to just lean off to the side, and when you come in, I'm going to tie you up. So he could smother, he could survive, but offensively, he's missing things. So
quick question. Anybody got a line on that Yard versus Betterbiev fight?
Listen, man. Kim.
Betterbiev by death.
Come on, man.
Chris Eubank just got knocked out by Liam Smith, bro. None of us are safe. Nobody's safe.
Yard is going to get
Betterbiev minus over 9,000.
I never thought Yard was safe to
Those are the current odds right now.
I think Yard is
but don't sleep. I'm just saying don't sleep because Betterbiev is 38, my guy. This dude gets injured after every fight, even if the fight only lasts 2 rounds.
But Betterbiev has been through way more shit than Yard has ever been through in his life. Betterbiev has seen amateurs that are better than Yard. Betterbiev has fought everybody. Yeah, he fought Usyk and beat Usyk.
He's still 38. He's still 38.
And Bosnick and Kovalev.
He's still 38.
I'm gonna go to Australia for this one, man. What does the Mirage say?
I think Betterbiev's overrated. That's what I think. People keep talking about, he's a puncher.
Anybody that's good is overrated.
He's been knocked down. You're forgetting he's been knocked down twice. You're giving shit to Benavidez for getting knocked down by some cab driver.
Here we fucking go.
Benavidez got knocked down twice. One of them was by some UK bum knocked him down and he rocked him. He was hurt. He got up and bounced off the ropes. You go watch that.
Fam. Y'all got to let the man talk. Let the man talk. So
he ate a clean hook by that UK guy. I mean, I don't even know his name. Maybe
Callum Johnson.
Yeah, so this guy is not invincible, and Yard can fucking punch. So this isn't a fucking open and shut. So he's a live threat.
To be fair, he also knocked out Callum Johnson in 4 rounds. So
sure, but I'm saying,
listen. To be fair, and I've been saying this on repeat since they made the fight. This is my main thing. Artur is not dumb. That's the main thing. If he feel a wind on them shots, or he feel a strength on them shots, he gonna know, nah, I can't play with him. I need to take him into the 8th, 9th. I'll take him out then. And Anthony ain't got no gas tank. So in the first couple of rounds, Anthony is a live dog. Believe it. He roll and counter, and he's quick. Goes to the body, too. And I'm like, it don't got to be a lot for Anthony to take him out. It could just be one that gets through because he's quick. And everybody, like, I see what people saying. Like, I'm not even telling you to not pick Artur. I'm just saying that stranger things have happened, bro. They have.
They're talking about him like you need to calm down.
I just wanted to give his respect.
Go ahead, Mirage. Go ahead.
They're talking about him like his prime Mike Tyson or something. So then you need to like calm down a little bit. But Yard, first thing he needs to avoid doing is what fucking Joe Smith did. As soon as he got tagged, he just sat in the pocket and tried to fucking bang like an idiot, and was just an open target. So he just needs to fight intelligently.
Do you know what?
And let him finish.
I'm giving him a fucking chance, definitely.
No. I wanted to say this because we all say the same thing. We say either you gotta stand back and let and give Artur Betterbiev space and then just come in with one pop shot, or you gotta go crazy early and knock this motherfucker out. Both ways, we've seen people get executed. Joe Smith tried to come in the crazy way. Oh, we just go open up on him, and he got destroyed. So now
that's a risk.
The whole thing with the Joe Smith thing, though, is that
let me say this. Now, Chaim, let me answer your shit. This is why I have always picked people to beat him. It can't just be forward, and it can't just be backwards. It has to be in and out.
A combination of both.
Peck at him. Not one. Peck at him. The shit that he did to Zerto, I'm gonna pop you. I'm gonna put you on your back foot, and I'm out of here. Fuck you. I'm not here for you counter. Fuck you. And I'm gonna get in, pop you, and I'm out of here. Fuck that.
But Jules, this motherfucker beat Usyk in the amateurs. So that
Are we really gonna bring the
Wait.
Yo, he's a problem.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just gonna ask you a question. Was he 38 when he fought Usyk?
No, he wasn't. He's probably 20.
I was gonna say that, like, well, as far as Joe Smith goes, I always find it funny when people say that he did some dumb shit. I mean, do y'all want Joe Smith to box on his toes and do all this other shit? That's Joe Smith.
There's something in between.
You gotta knock out being Joe Smith. But hold on, I was gonna say, like, if I
let Julio finish. Go ahead,
Julio. The only reason, like, I'm not like fully sold on Bivol beating Betterbiev is that, bro, Betterbiev, he already knows that whole Soviet system like the back of his hand. Like, he beat that style over and over again in the amateur. But however, I will say, and this is true for the Yard fight, is that he is older, and for better or worse, Yard is very fast. He's very athletic, and he has a lot of power. So you can't rule him out. Like, you can't rule him out at all.
Now, let me say this to Julio. This is my thing. I agree with everything you said, but there's a difference between, I'm going to tell you what Orpheus told Mio. He told Mio there's a difference between knowing the path and being on the path. Your old ass might know the Soviet style, but after a while, it's going to be hard for you to keep up with these young guys in the legs. They go first.
Yeah, but when you've seen everything else,
but he's seen all the styles, he know how to fight on it.
Yo, think about it like this.
Too much
think
credit.
About it like this.
Both are true.
And also, think about it like this. You worked as a security guard in the whorehouse. You've seen all the pussy.
I wish I had that privilege.
Think about it.
I'm doing that job now.
Nobody's surprising you. Nobody's surprising you. Ain't no bitch in there surprising you. You've been doing this for 20 years. You've been working security guard now.
You've seen every style.
You've seen every style, dog.
Fam, your reaction time, if you better be, right, and you dealing with a fighter that's quick, and he ain't just quick in one way, he quick in different ways. And what I like about Bivol, y'all saying the Soviet style, I dig what y'all saying, but his variation is different. If you look at Vosdik is upright, just beating his feet. Upright.
Straight up and down, fucking right.
Bivol, he changed levels. He changed levels. He changed the cake. He don't throw the jab the same way neither. Sometimes he'll pop you with it. Sometimes he just touch you with it, touch you with it, touch you with it. Pop. He'll change the cake.
Bivol ain't feather fisted himself now.
That's the other one. And Artur ain't like he got a cast iron jaw. He don't. Jeff Page dropped him. Johnson dropped him.
Dropped him.
All right. So
that being said, look, after Saturday, like, who are we to say that Anthony Yard doesn't have a chance after the crazy shit that happened on Saturday?
Saying he got a chance. Like,
he has a legit chance. But the thing I don't trust about him is the gas tank.
Listen. Chris Eubank get knocked out by beefy.
Yard got the lungs of a deflated balloon, bro. He don't got that much time, so he has to take advantage of the first 3 rounds.
I'm not giving Yard no credit because I see your resume. I saw your resume when you was fighting bums. You've been fighting bums your whole career. Now you think you will go in there with a fucking real vet that really saw every style, and I'm supposed to give you points? I'm supposed to give you credit?
Fellas, like his best win is Lyndon Arthur.
After Lyndon beat him.
Come on, yo.
I think Yard has a chance. I think Yard has a chance.
Leo Santa Cruz shit, like, Carl Frampton is your best win after he beat you.
I think Yard has a chance, but the real wild card is Callum.
You talking about Callum?
What you mean?
Callum Smith,
Look, you know what, Julio? I'm going to say it.
Smith knocks both of them out.
I'm going to say it. Callum, you a Callum Smith fanboy. I'm going to say it.
Callum Smith beat who? Arthur?
Listen, I fuck with Callum. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to sell me that this guy with them straight shots is going to beat Artur. He is going to
No. Bro, Callum's his catch left hook is just as good as a straight punch. And that's the shot that Betterbiev gets caught
Smith,
bro.
Yes,
that's the shot that Betterbiev gets caught with, that left hook.
Don't make me laugh, bro. Don't make me laugh. Callum Smith couldn't keep John Ryder off him. He's going to keep Betterbiev off him.
John Ryder.
Callum Smith.
That's different.
Yo, Jules, let me talk for a second. Let me talk.
Can I respond to that?
Let me talk.
I want to respond to that. Hold on. But it was addressed towards me. I feel like I should respond to that.
Order in the court.
Callum Smith. Wait, I want to pass it first. Let me pass it to Chaim, then I'm going to give it to Julio. Chaim, go ahead.
I've been saying this for over 2 months. I think it was 3 months. I think Callum Smith is the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, in the light heavyweight division. I'm sorry, light heavyweight division. I think he knocks out anybody if he catches them clean, and it's not just straight punches. He got hooks, power. This guy is amazing. I think he fought Canelo right now. He knocks out Canelo, and he already lost to Canelo.
Where did he suddenly find all this power? Where did he find this magic glow power?
When he moved up from 168 to 175.
Wait, don't stop. Let me pass it to Julio. Julio, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know what Chaim's talking about, but the Callum Smith John Ryder comparison is ridiculous because he had I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about Mirage. Like he had to crouch down and fight Ryder on the inside. He can't do that with Betterbiev because him and Betterbiev are eye level. He's not gonna have to.
Hang on. Let me respond. How did Ryder get on the inside? How did Ryder get on the inside?
John Ryder is like 5'8".
Yeah,
so
how did a small guy
be hunched over trying to land shots on John Ryder? He's going to be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, but we just said
hang on. Let me reply. The reason he had to crouch down because he wasn't capable of keeping the little midget at length because he didn't have the power to do it. That's why. Okay, that's the fact. So now suddenly he's turned into Mike Tyson. He's moved up 7 pounds. Suddenly he's Mike Tyson. Okay, that's your position.
Because when fighters move up, a lot of
he knocked out 2 bums at 175.
Well, no,
now he's going to knock out the whole division.
Lennon Castillo has never been knocked out before. And
so what?
This is what I'm going to tell you. There's a nuance to the John Ryder shit. Don't forget that John is a southpaw. Artur is an orthodox fighter.
He's an orthodox fighter.
Don't forget that. That's one. 2, John actually does change levels. Artur don't really do that. He doesn't really come in at a slight crouch. to try to change levels on a guy. Usually he's pretty upright, you know, and he's another one that if you look at him, it's like watching a torso that don't move and 2 feet be moving under it. He don't really bend this. He not really. Even when he slipped, it's like his whole shit slipped. Like it's not.
It's just 6 inches though. Like
yeah. Like he manages the distance, or at least to my eyes, he manages the distance with his feet more than his head and all of that. Because he just move a little bit, but it's his feet, it's his positioning. Whereas John, if you watch him, he changed levels. He get low. He'll get low on you, like what he did to Parker. He'll get low on you. And
but you can't lie. Footwork wins fights. That just distance.
It depends because look, Zelfa Barrett, he might look like a guy that got feet, but he got Rockamoved. You got fucking Rockamoved, bro. If you would have, and the stupidest shit about that fight is, bro, you know you could hurt him. You literally hurt him. You literally knocked him down, and you still near. Let me a fucking jab and get into him.
Okay, that's the Ryder fight. We also have the Canelo fight. Now, okay, you're going to say Canelo's the man. That's cool. Even relative to other Canelo opponents, that was a piss poor performance, and it demonstrated. Callum Smith. Hang on, it demonstrated Callum Smith is easy to bully. You can bully that guy pretty easily. So after Betterbiev, man, come on, he'll walk him down. He'll fold him in half. Easily.
I mean, you just pointed out an example earlier.
Julio, this is my shit. This is my shit. The same debilitation that he had in the John Ryder fight is the same one he had in the Canelo fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, John Ryder and Canelo are the same height, and they're both in-fighters, of course.
All right, so
it's different because Betterbiev's taller.
is not 6'3", my God. They're not,
but he's not 5'8". He's much taller than 5'8" too. Like it's still like there's obviously
the reason
threshold with height. But even then, like Mirage pointed out earlier, the fact that he got dropped by Callum Johnson, he got dropped one of Callum Smith's best punches, which is the catch, shoot, left hook. He's there to be hit with it. I'm not saying
everybody's got to punch
Callum
his
Smith
chance,
is going to beat him, but I think it's going to be a lot more competitive fight and a lot more interesting matchup.
Thank you, Fab.
It's probably going to be more competitive in the first half than in the second half because I still don't trust yours.
You reckon it's going to go that long to like the second half?
But first and foremost, Julio, I'm going to say this shit. Stylistically, if I look at them both, Anthony Yard and Callum Smith, I would actually give Anthony better odds than I would give Callum.
I agree because he's more of a natural counterpuncher.
Really? And that's what you. Listen, what you need for Artur, and you either have it or you don't. But what you need for Artur is counterpunching because he's gonna come at you. Yeah. If you get on your back foot and you move lateral, you know he's going to come at you. So you got to set him up. And that's one of them things. Either you got it or you don't.
But that last Callum Smith knockout against the guy with the B,
the silver medalist from France. I know you're talking about.
That shit was a
dude, that guy's been knocked out before. That guy's been knocked out before.
Clean, beautiful fucking knockout.
Okay.
Right, well, what about Lenny Castillo before that, who's never been knocked out?
Castillo was crazy.
Okay, he knocked out 2 guys. Okay, Caleb Plant just knocked out a guy cold. Is he suddenly a fucking Mike Tyson?
Callum Smith is knocking out everybody he fights at the division, and he's moved up in the division. He moved up in the weight class. Okay. He's knocking out everybody.
Let's see when he fights a top guy in a division. Let's see what happens then.
How special of a fighter Canelo is?
Say what? I didn't hear that part.
I said, does that speak to how special of a fighter Canelo is?
Of course.
He did the same thing John Ryder did.
Let me say this. Do I think Callum is a good fighter? Yes. Do I think there's a lot of guys at light heavyweight that he would beat? Yes. For example, I don't think Craig Richards could go 12 rounds with Callum Smith. He'll knock him out. I think he would knock out Joshua Buatsi too. I think he would knock him out.
Me too. I was waiting.
But styles make fights. Your best punches are your straight punches. Artur will counter the shit out of you all day. Go ahead, throw that fucking jab. See if you don't get Joe Smith.
No, but if Artur throw his straight punch, Callum Smith is still out of range of it.
And this what this is what you missing. That's why Betterbeef doesn't throw a single jab. He throws a double and a triple jab, and it's real short, which means you can't counter it.
Callum is still out of range. Callum is still out of range of it.
While he listen to me. While he listen, it ain't even that. Listen to me. When he throw that double or that triple jab, Callum not going to throw. He going to glove up or back up. He not going to throw. He going to glove up or he going to back up.
Callum might back up and throw a straight right hand with
stop it. You
fucking Arthur on his ass, dog.
Stop this. Stop this.
I'm going to be quiet.
Caleb gets out of there because I ain't gonna lie.
Caleb ain't as pussy as he was at 168. He a little more gangster at 175. Oh Lord, he ain't as pussy as he was at 168.
That's because I'm gonna tell you why. I tell you why. Wait. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. I'm about to tell y'all why. It's because he hanging out with my man, Capricorn legend, Buddy motherfucking McGirt.
Let's go.
Buddy motherfucking McGirt. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the explanation.
He ain't pussy at 175. He walking forward at 175.
Now let me read the super chats. Here's something to think about. Oliver McCall was fighting all the way up until the pandemic. Never got knocked out.
True.
Yo, that's a retarded stat though. Be like, yo, what the fuck wrong with you, bro? Why don't you just go down already, bro? Will said, Hayam speaks the truth. The security guard knows all about the tatas. But on some real shit, I would be a little bit more confident that Artur knocks out Callum than Anthony. Not saying Anthony can't get knocked out because he has, but his main issue is his gas tank. If this shit goes to the later rounds, this dude gonna gas, bro. He is gonna gas.
Let me ask you a question.
His shoulder roll isn't very
good. Let me ask the panel a question. Let me ask everybody a question. There's a Mike Tyson question in there. So Arthur Betterbiev and Anthony Yarde, they're about the same height. So of course they throw their punches naturally at that same shoulder height that they are. So in this fight, the chances of a knockout is higher because they're both the same height. Like
that's true. There's no height. That's true. There's no height differential.
Yeah, there's no height differential. So when a Callum Smith and stuff like that is a different angle. Do y'all incorporate that?
All right. And I'm gonna tell. Wait, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you about that. Every fighter that I've ever spoken to says the same shit. They hate little fighters because tall fighters don't like little fighters. Yeah, it's harder for the tall fighter.
You can't compare the two.
Yeah, because it's harder to throw. You're not getting leverage on your punch. It's not the same. You know what I mean?
So that go back to what I'm telling you, that Callum would struggle with Artur, and the Anthony Yarde fight is a little closer than that because they are level. It's gonna be a little bit harder for Artur. It might be.
It is gonna be harder for.
But whose accuracy do you trust more, though?
I trust Callum's because he's been in there with higher opposition, higher level, consistency.
I mean between Yarde and Betterbiev.
I trust
Betterbiev for sure.
Come on.
I'm going to tell you what. I trust who punch to get from A to B faster. And in a situation when both fighters are eye level, I trust Yarde's punch to find Artur before I would trust Callum. Because you got them long ass arms. He could get under them shits. He could get to the side of them shits. It's a different fight. And
I do give you that.
It's a different fight.
I'm still going for Callum, but I do give you your point.
But to your credit, because I ain't even shitting on Callum. I think it's a lot of guys he'll knock out in that division. I do. I think it's a lot of guys he'll take him right the fuck out. You gonna need Bivol to beat him. You gonna need Bivol to beat him or Archer.
Because I think he's very dangerous in the division. I think he's very dangerous.
Like Buatsi don't knock him out.
I had high hopes for him, but
Lyndon Arthur get knocked out by him.
Like, he'd knock Lyndon Arthur the fuck out.
I don't think it's a problem. He's a very dangerous fighter at that division. With his size and everything, his measurements, he's dangerous.
He'll beat Marcus Brown too, probably.
That's what I was talking about when we was talking about Donaire and Miss Rachel came on the show. And they asked me if she asked me if he was 6'3", 195. I said, if I did everything the right way, he would be at a disadvantage. That's how I see Buatsi versus Callum Smith.
I don't think low-key. I don't think Buatsi, another one that the reason I think that he don't throw a lot of punches, because if you watch him, he really don't throw a lot of punches. I'm like, I know why. You ain't got no gas tank. If they force you to work, you're going to gas out quick. And two, I see how he react when he get hit. I'm like, nah, this dude is chinny.
And three, you're not big enough for the division, dog.
I don't know what it is, but they got him registered at 6 feet. But I'll be looking at him in a fight, and I'm like, yo, Bolotnik look bigger than you.
Yo, David Benavidez is bigger than him.
A lot of guys look bigger than him. Like I'm like, yo, they got him registered at 6 feet.
Oh, Yard is like a cruiserweight,
bruh. He a Bridgerweight. He reminds me of a dude in a Van Damme movie, Bender. I like
whoopee weight.
For real.
Hey, some motherfucker in chat's calling me out. Mark Morris.
What
Hey,
what they say?
What are you talking about? Let me see.
He says my understanding of I lack understanding of intricacies of boxing. Okay, you guys are talking about the small guy versus the big guy. You have more leverage on your punches punching down than you do punching up. Okay, you guys agree with that?
I would agree.
Leverage wise, yes, but it also depends on the punch. Like you definitely have more leverage for the uppercut. You definitely have more leverage for the hook, but your accuracy suffers for it because the little dude could get under them punches easier than the guy who's high level.
Well, but that comes down to punch selection. I mean, if you're throwing the right punches, like uppercuts, body, you can go to the body. You can go to the body.
Have you ever seen a tall guy throw an uppercut?
What was that?
Tall guys look awkward throwing uppercuts. Remember when Tyson Fury smacked himself in the face trying to do that?
Okay. Just because Tyson Fury lacks coordination and he's sloppy, that doesn't mean like all tall guys can't throw fucking great uppercuts.
I'm just joking.
The thing is, look, the uppercut, and I don't agree that all tall fighters look awkward throwing the uppercut because the advantage that the taller fighter has when he throws the uppercut is he can really drive it with his fucking hips.
He can drive it, yes, sir.
More than a smaller fighter can. A taller fighter, if he drive that uppercut into the person's shit and he turn them hips when he do it, he gonna do a lot of damage real fast. Remember what Anthony Joshua did to Klitschko? Drive the uppercut.
Hey, what about Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson? That was Mike Tyson's weakness always coming in. You can get him with the uppercut. And Lennox Lewis, even though Tyson was obviously past his prime, he hurt him and he finished him like with a great uppercut. So
I'll still say he wouldn't have got Mike in his prime though.
I agree.
What we really talking about is the right cross. My whole point about the eye level stuff and all of that, talking about the eye level shit, was all about. Think about somebody throwing a punch, like a right cross. Just think about a regular guy just throwing a right cross. If you throw it shoulder level, the speed to get from position A to position B is extremely fast if you throw in just a straight punch. Yeah. Every other punch is more complex. There's more problems. Is all type of obstacles.
Because the setup is different.
When you are straight shoulder level.
The more difficult fight. Like here's an example. Perfect example. Maris Breedis and Usyk was more eye level to each other than Usyk and Joshua. But who had problems? The taller fighter, Joshua, because this little motherfucker can slip and get under and change levels, and you got to try to manage that. Whereas with Breedis and Usyk, well, nah, we eye level. Ain't no time for that. And Maris Breedis gave him a better fight than Joshua did, but they was eye level. So I say, look, usually what I've seen, and every time I talk to a fighter, they all say the same shit. They don't like shorter fighters than them because it's trickier for them to try to hit them with shit. And we could say it boils down to punch selection, but like I said, I talk to fighters, they don't like little fighters, man. They don't like them.
Thanks.
Yeah. They don't like them because they could get under what you throw. If you shoot a jab, it's easy for that little motherfucker to get over there, or it's easy for him to slip in there, and before you know it, he right in front of you. Why was Mike so effective against taller fighters? Because he just
that's where I got it from. That's where I got.
But a lot of that is also the smaller guy has a speed advantage, so that's another factor. They're usually faster than the bigger guys.
Usually the smaller guy's faster. You've never seen an instance where the taller guy is the faster guy.
Agreed. But I will say this: that's what makes the ass whooping that George gave Joe so special.
So crazy.
Joe come forward changing levels and slipping. Come forward, and every time he tried, move. 2 rounds, bro. This man went 45 rounds with Ali. He couldn't make it out the second round with George. Amazing. I'm like, nah, ain't nothing fucking with that, bro. Ain't nothing. And ain't no question that Joe Frazier tough. But for you to destroy that man like that in 2 rounds, nah, son, ain't nothing fucking with that.
But bro, that speaks to the punching power of George Foreman. Cause dog, he was throwing.
They think a lot of people build George as just a puncher. Y'all remember he a gold medalist, bro. Look at the. I think
I'm about to say he could also box because his defense.
That's what I was
that cross guard, that cross block was nasty.
Look at the Chuvalo fight. The Chuvalo fight was one of the few times that he used his jab, and he was punishing Chuvalo with that jab, rearranging.
I'm about to say he beat the. He disfigured his face.
Exactly. like it's not a lot of people that's in case you haven't noticed, I have a very high opinion of George Foreman. Very high opinion. My dream fight would be George Foreman versus Sonny Liston, even though that's protege and mentor, but that would still be a dream fight.
He's a phenom. I've been saying it for the longest.
I know Chuvalo was never.
People don't realize
Chuvalo was never dropped.
Phenom, though.
Yeah, Chuvalo was never dropped. I don't think Chuvalo was ever knocked out either.
No, he was stopped. He was stopped. Like,
who stopped him? Who stopped him?
Joe was the first to stop him, and George did, but he was never dropped. He was always out. He never got knocked out cold.
Yeah. But yeah, yo, George is the man. Seriously. And back to Callum Smith. Artur fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up real nice. Real nice.
You don't even have a chance, Jules? Not even a small chance?
It's not that. It's that at your very best, the punches that everybody keep talking about, or when he's at his best, he's getting off straight shots. Those are his best punches. He's getting off straight shots. He'll touch the guy, hurt the guy, then come in and put the other punches together. But I don't see you landing that jab on Artur. I don't. I see that jab getting counted over the top with a big right hand, or I see him double jabbing.
We don't see that, Jules.
The shit is, look, a dude with long arms. Remember this. Callum got long arms. If Artur double jab and you glove up, it's a big ass hole right there. He is gonna put a punch in there, and Callum gonna go down like a bag of laundry. I'm telling you.
Nah, we see that he gonna throw something crazy, and Callum Smith gonna hit him with a left hook inside, and it's gonna hurt him.
See, what I'm saying is that I think that, of course, like if you made me put money on the wood, if you made me put money on the wood, of course, I'm gonna lean towards Betterbiev. But for all the same reasons that you think that Yard, both you and I agree that Yard is a live dog in that fight. I think Callum is that too, but he has better IQ. In my opinion, the smarter fighter, more athletic advantages. Like
Julio, what hasn't been said? Artur's a little shorter. Callum's a little taller. Ain't Artur Betterbiev a body puncher?
Yes. 100%.
I see, bro.
A body snatcher.
You gotta drop your hands to throw punches to the body. You gotta drop your hands.
What punch knocked out Marcus Brown?
Well, it was really
everything,
everything, but it was I know because I put it in the intro. The last punch that sat him down was an uppercut on the inside. He went up and down. And he was finished, bro. Like,
I gotta say about Marcus, like he was brave. He was brave getting up after that first knock.
You gotta give it to Marcus because he chinnied in a motherfucker, but he lasted longer than Joe, who has a chin. That's That's how wild boxing is. The chinny dude actually made it past, but the dude with the chin being too gung ho, counter over the top. And on question, we ain't heard from Joe since 41 rounds. Jules, the first fight went. Right. The second fight was 12 rounds. 12. 15 stopped at 14. Just thought I'd share that. Appreciate that. I don't mind being corrected. We all learn. We all need to learn some shit. All right, that's the same super chat.
But still, shit. He went 3 rounds with Ali. Three fights with Ali. 41 rounds.
That's and they was going. It wasn't like it was pussyfooting around and cat and mouse.
They was throwing some shit. Yeah, they throwing some shit.
And I'm like, yo, dog, in 2 fucking rounds, couple of hooks, couple of uppercuts, some good timing. George just finished them, B. You can hear Angelo Dundee.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Hey, he was lifting him off his feet, though, bro. He was
look. One of the shots lifted him, bro. Like on some laundry type shit. Like, nah, son, George was just a different gravy, bro. Beyond the ring. Shout out to Nonito and Rachel. Ooh, we're gonna break down that fight Friday. Let everybody know who y'all picking to win that fight. Like I said, Anthony, I'm just saying, stranger things have happened in this sport than Anthony potentially winning that fight.
And he has a style. He just doesn't have the experience or like the quality, in my opinion.
That's the main thing, that when you haven't had them rounds with them good fighters, when you haven't had them rounds with them good fighters, where you got to figure things out, well, that's what's working against Anthony. That a lot of the guys you fought, you know, as soon as you touched them with some shit, pew, they went right down.
I want to say, you said he has a style. Right, you said that, and I do see a little bit of style and a construct from him. But when you say he has a style, my question is, how do you develop that style? You develop that style through what Jules just said, through fighting real fighters and being able to hold your style, being challenged within your style, and be able to construct it and hold it. He ain't been through none of that.
That's what I'm saying. No, and every time they put him in there, with somebody like, you got an old alcoholic Kovalev. And you couldn't. He's an old alcoholic by that time, and you
couldn't even keep your construct with him. How you gonna keep it with a Betterbiev?
That's what I'm saying. They put you in there with Lyndon Arthur.
He couldn't be Vakalev. So you expect
come on, fam.
He's like Eubank, man. He's lost his step up fights, even though he got Arts on the rematch.
He worse than
they put him in there with Lyndon Arthur. I don't know if Lyndon Arthur's right hand was messed up in that fight. I just remember in the first fight he didn't throw it. So basically, he fought most of the fight one-handed, just with the jab. And with that jab, he fucking beat him with a jab.
Come on, fam. What's going on with your construct? Like, what's going on with you? Who you are as a fighter? You not developed yourself because you've been fighting these dairy fucking products. Like, come on.
Shout out to my man Troy Graham. I appreciate it. Bro, like I said, I already know that he not going to admit that he lost. I just did it for the bread. Really. I just did it for the bread. Other than that, he could go back and say whatever he like, as long as I make my money.
Who you got, Joe Cordina or Rachmanov, if that fight?
Cordina. I believe Cordina's going to knock Rachmanov out. He's more assertive. I
think he'll win, but I don't know about a KO.
This the thing. The fact that Zelfa Barrett beat you. The fact that Zelfa Barrett hurt you on the back foot. Remember, Zelfa Barrett fight on the balls of his feet. He don't sit on his punches. He fight on the balls of his feet. And he was able to hurt Rachmanov. That tell me that, Joe, he has a more authoritative punch than Zelfa Barrett. If Zelfa could drop you on the fly, I think George could take you out. Joe Cordina could take you out. I think he could. Look at what he hit Ogawa with. Cold knockout. I got Joe Cordina winning that fight, winning back to IBF. Who else we got? All right, on that note, let me see. It's 11:23. I'm going to sleep, y'all.
Good night. Good talking to you. Later, guys.
Now, y'all be easy. Y'all be easy and remember that Artur knocks out Callum Smith.
By the way, Jules, is Ben Davidson a weight bully?